y'all doing and welcome. I am Willie Williams. Appreciate y'all for joining the player. Subscribe. Please remember, go around to the WillieWilliamsShow.com. Y'all check out a few things. Subscribe to the website. If you would like to support a player around here, you can get something for you and them little ugly babies by clicking the Get link on the website. If you'd like to see what we call the event video, click around to the Patreon, the Willie Williams Show. The link's down there in the description. I need you liking, sharing, telling somebody about a player. We try to get the thumbs up over 500 in every show so we can do something to the algorithm. Listen, we got a PayPal link down in the description. We got $, top and bottom. Willie Williams Show, that is the cash app. And if you just so happen to hit that super chat, please don't go over $5 because the player don't know if he getting it or not. They say I get 30, they say that they get 70. God damn it, I think they getting a whole 100. Remember, the midday news show, if you can't watch it with your eyes and you can't use your peripherals and see a player, big word, I hear any goddamn screen. We do got a thing called a podcast on Anchor and Spotify, the Willie Williams Show. Please follow me on IG and Twitter at the WW Show. Appreciate y'all. Oh, they say that baby done took the stand. They say she done took the stand out there in the A. What it do? How y'all doing? I'm Willie Williams. Appreciate y'all for joining me. This is the Willie Williams Show. This is the Nightly News Show. Come on in. Sit yourselves right on down. Say what's up, Pastor the 412, Cliffsboro, Pennsylvania is in the building. What it do? Say the Bronx, New York is in the building. Say what poppin', Pastor? Let's get these 30 minutes of fire. Salute Detroit, what it do? Say the 612 Minneapolis, Minnesota is ready for the shizness jigger. I don't understand. The 407 is in the building. What it do? Say the 2981 Houston, Texas. Say, hey, Willie, what it do? Come on in. Say the 718 Jacksonville. I say Jacksonville, Jamaica, Queens is in the building. What's happening? Ready for service tonight. Say, what it do, Pastor? What it do? If y'all just joining the player, we also streaming live on Twitch, twitch.tv.com, the Willie Williams Show. Appreciate you. Go ahead on and make an account, get on around there, be a part of what's going on over there. Thank you. The 209 California's in the building. The 334 the Gump Monkey Town is up in here. The ATL shouted up in the house. The 305 is in the house. Say Fani said, these are lies. Baby say these is lies. Hashtag believe all women, and in my Willie voice. Listen, we gonna be here. We gonna be here for a good little minute. Hold on, I got to check this thing out real quick. But we is gone. Now what they got player agreeing to? I don't be knowing what the hell I am agreeing to. Let me cut my notifications up really quick, because I had them turned down. Listen, we try to get the lights up. We need the thumbs up. Let's see if they are sending out the notifications. Is they sending out notifications to you people? To you good people? Is the notifications going out? Maybe not. You don't know. I don't know. We need them to go out. Let's try to get all this stuff prepared. Listen, we're going to be here. Go ahead on and get your coffee and all that fly stuff right there. Go ahead on and get your essential products. Do everything that you need to do. Go ahead on and take a little bathroom break right now. We gonna be here a good little minute. I got to be more careful. Lord knows I don't want to be here like how I'm finna have to be here right now. But got to do the job. You got to come to work. That's what's up. You say that you got notified and you got your notifications. That's what's up. You say rolling 9. Roll that thing on up. Shout out to CC's World for the $1.99 super chat. You say, Willie, I meant the shits and giggles out here in these streets. Now that thing just went on ahead and what did that thing just do? Refresh while I was in mid reading. And now I got to slide this one right here down. Willie, I meant shits and giggles to say, appointment made yet? No. I'm going to try to get on around there like in the morning. I'm going to try to get around there in the morning. I be planning stuff. And due to the vertigo, at some times of the day it will not be in my best interest to drive. Certain times of the day. And then I have to go ahead on and do some other stuff. And then when I'm doing other stuff, it's a great time for me to go ahead on and drive, you know? So I got to weigh out. I got to I got to catch it right on time in order for me to go ahead on and do what I need to do about my health out here in the street. Tomorrow Friday. Tomorrow Friday. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I think if all else fail, it will at least be on Saturday. And I will not do overtime on Saturday. If all else fail, like tomorrow, if I can't get around there, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow, then I will have to do it on Saturday. Bam, Nebraska is in the building. What's happening? He say, big word, procrastinating out here in these streets. Listen, we is on the 89, but we is over 100 and something people. We should be over 100 thumbs up by now. It is 08. Y'all is got, damn it, do not make me look bad in front of the company. Please don't make me look bad in front of the company. I am asking you good people to not make me look bad in front of the company. If you're new around here, we try to go ahead on and get the likes up over 100 before we get this thing started. The likes is for free. We got Cash App, PayPal, and Super Chat. Support is a verb out here in the street. I need your support, need your sponsorship. We got 124 people. If everybody just donated $1, woo, we'll be looking good right now. We at 90. Come on. Let me take a sip. We gonna be here. We're gonna be here a good little minute. I know a lot of people, they might have something else to do and you may not want to be around here, but I say stay on around here because you ain't got nothing better to do. It is after 8 o'clock. Either your churn woke or your churn sleep. But other than that, you ain't got nothing better to do. Huh? For real. Bam. What else we got? What else we got? We will not be going to Rumble tonight because we gonna be here. We is gonna be here. We're not doing Rumble and we're not doing Kick, but please create you a Rumble and a Kick channel and or page or however they tell us to go ahead and do it. Just create an account and just find a player on there. You say that we at 105. Let me refresh. You say it's 5:19 p.m. in California? Oh, yeah, because y'all is behind us. You say, Willie, lie and say the money is going to good mamas. That's possibly what I need to say. Give y'all a pat on the back, man. Y'all have made it over 100 by 09. I appreciate that right there. Show enough, do. Y'all, we finna go ahead on and get into it. We finna start it off with it. Hold on, let me, bam it. Got it right there. Fani Willis take the stand in the disqualification hearing in Georgia. The disqualification hearing that they was having, I guess, in order for her, she had to testify. She had to take the stand. What we not gonna do, we not even gonna play Nathan Wade part. No. We ain't doing this because I do believe that this thing took 10 hours. We ain't got 10 hours. We really not gonna do that right there. And I kind of wanted to wait until tomorrow. to look at all pick certain clips and the highlights and all that fly stuff right there. But I was like, it ain't no other news out right now, so we might as well just go with this right here. And this is what we're gonna do. Now, if it's any mess going on the way they taking breaks and all in the fly shit, we skipping through all that right there to get right back to it, you know. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
To have the full picture, as we've done from Mr. Wade, of his false interrogatories, serious business for a lawyer or anybody, and then suddenly he's changing.
Look at that baby.
He files her financial declaration.
That baby just throw the piece of paper on the desk. Look at that baby.
Same problem.
She looks stressed out too.
Here to go over all of this and to explain exactly what happened.
Fanny looks stressed out.
Ask the court that the court allowed this, what was called interrogated on these matters.
Shout out for having her real though. It looked like that's her real.
Wait, Your Honor.
Just a moment, Miss Wells.
So, Ms. Cross, I don't know if you want to speak with Ms. Willis now. It's sounding like maybe they're withdrawing
I believe I'm
the objection to the motion.
I believe the motion to
Or does Ms. Willis want to take the lead here?
roll draft the motion to quash Ms. Willis. Based on the rule. I'm ready to go.
Okay, so
Ms. Willis say she ready to go. All the little talking, listen, let's go ahead on and get it. Shout out to I Make 60 Look Good Shirley for the $50 cash app. Say continue to stand on business. Say thank you, Phyllis. That's what's up. I appreciate that right there. I hope that you're feeling well. Prayer still going out. Still going out. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Here we go.
the position of the district attorney at this point is that she's no longer
It's like she anxious. Slow down, baby.
contesting the subpoena. Ms. Merchant is called as the next witness.
Ooh, she moving fast, too. Fani got on that dress showing us up.
I need 3 documents in front of me, and then the 3 filings of Ms. Merchant.
Ooh. Okay. Mind you, I am just like the rest of y'all. I ain't watched this shit. It's too many hours. I was doing my show when they was doing their show. So I did not watch this thing, so I'm just like y'all. Damn. Oh. Go ahead then,
Does anyone
baby.
have the 3 filings of Ms. Merchant? Does the court have the 3 filings of Ms. Merchant?
When you say the filings, you mean like the pleadings?
The pleadings, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I think we could locate those for you. You know, supplemental.
She mad. Shout out to Logan for the $2 super chat. He say that Fani Hunch Wave for V-Day. Ooh, Valentine's was yesterday. It was yesterday. Good question.
One filed on January 8th, the one filed immediately after we filed ours, and the final one.
If you want to take a break to get them, I can make a copy. I think we have one.
You know, the only copy I have is going to have my notes on it. So if we don't have a clean copy.
We have a 5-minute break around, I'll get the documents.
All right.
I'll see you on the phone.
Finna take 5. Okay, we got to slide up there. Yeah, 35. Go to 40. Go to 42. 48.
I didn't have a substantive.
Wait, hold on.
I didn't have
46. All right. Here we go. We got to work on our bodies, y'all. We got to work on our bodies. We're getting too old. Come on, y'all. We got to get back in the gym.
whomever would like to.
Let's go. Everyone get situated and we'll go back.
Say them titties look sad. Ow, no, she didn't do the side poop mouth thing. She didn't do that. Okay.
All right, you're back on the record, Deputy Scott.
She is a lawyer, ain't? Oh well, yeah. She have to be a lawyer to be a DA, right?
You can swear in our next witness.
And I do apologize. Hannah. Do me a favor. Come on, make some new glasses. After the school, so you can wear this one, it's all over.
You swear on form that that's
Yes, Justice. District Attorney Fani, F-A-N-I, last name is Willis.
Ms. Willis, how did you know to come to the courtroom?
The people I was visiting in my office, and I heard someone yell, his testimony is done. It only made sense to me that I would be the next witness. And I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today. So I ran to the courtroom.
So as soon as you heard that Mr. Wade was done testifying, that's when you just assumed you would be the next witness?
It only makes sense.
Did you listen to any of the testimony?
I've been in my office pacing, ma'am.
Did you listen to any arguments?
I did hear the arguments this morning. It's ridiculous to me that you lied on Monday, and yet here we still are. And I did listen to that argument.
All right, so that was it, just the argument, no testimony.
And I listened to the argument this morning where Adam Abadi, I thought, did an excellent job pointing out how dishonest you were with the court on Monday.
And she asked you, did you listen to the thing, man? Damn.
I'm actually surprised that the hearing continued. Since it did, here I am.
Great. So let's talk about, first let's just talk about what you did in preparation for today. Did you meet with Mr. Wade at all? Once the motion was filed, did you meet with Mr. Wade and talk to him about the motion that I filed to disqualify you?
On January, this first January motion?
Yes.
I don't know if you could say talked about. I probably had some choice words about some of the things that you said that were dishonest within this motion.
Did y'all talk about it? Yes or no? Then explain. Simple.
So I don't know that it was a conversation. As you know, Mr. Wade is a Southern gentleman. Me, not so much.
Okay, but my question was, did you have a conversation
I
with
didn't
him?
have a substantive conversation.
You did not.
I read this motion, skimmed it more so, and I probably said some choice things to him about.
So she want her to know that she said some fly shit about her because she said that she lied inside of what she had done said with the paperwork. She just have to let her know and us know that she used profane language to describe how she felt about what she had done wrote. Go ahead, baby.
Some of the lies that were told and then put it in the media because, you know, we used to be in a day and time where you had 60 Minutes and people did stories and they verified information. You had this great reporting. But it seems today that a lawyer writes a lie and then it's printed for all of the world to see.
Well, I just want to make sure that you answer the question I asked him. So my question was...
I'm going to object. It's been asked and 3 times.
Say the judge say overruled. He objects saying that she already answered it. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. The judge called it. Say overruled because it has not been answered.
I told you what happened. I read the motion. I am sure I told you what my opinion of it is.
Okay.
And past that, we had no substantive conversation.
You did not.
You did
Is
not.
that something you didn't understand?
No, I just wanted to make
Yes, because you're not saying yes or no.
sure that you did not have a meeting with him in the conference room to discuss the motion.
No. So in the conference room of my office, within this week, you produced some financial document. That financial document was given to me, something, and I'm not even sure it was given to him by me, or Mr. Body gave it to me. And I think he showed me a document in our conference room. But as far as a substantive conversation, I don't believe I've had any conversation with him that is substantive related to this.
Shout out to Saucy Drippings for the $5 cash app. Say don't let up, Pastor, keep macking. I appreciate that right there.
I have had conversations with him since he filed the motion, but they wouldn't be substantive to this. He sent me very nice sermons that have been done, and so we've had conversations about, did you listen to that sermon? You know, things of that nature. And I would say they were in relationship to this because I think he did it to be kind.
Okay. Let's start back in 2019. So,
Shout out to Simone for the $1 cash app. You say Fanny square booty be talking square biz to me.
you and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference?
That is correct. And I think in one of your motions you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive. I stayed at that conference. Mr. Wade was my teacher.
Also, the lawyer had done intimated that when they first met that she smashed on the first day. All right, and she like straightened up, put her, no, bitch, you lie. Baby, I ain't sleep with him the first day.
I did not meet him when he taught the class. I was standing outside talking to Lisa Weeks, who is a judge. Me and her were just having a conversation. Mr. Wade walks up and they hug each other. They have some brief conversation. She introduces us.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. We kind of thought that when you asked a question, you didn't answer the question, not a speech, so I object to the speech making.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Shout out to Matthew for the $2 super chat. Say D.A. Willis was also a judge. Oh yeah, she was a judge. That's what's up. Shout out to Jermaine for the $1 cash app. Say just answer the damn question, Fanny. Listen. That's why he objected. I'm glad we supposed to. If it's a yes or no question, answer it yes or no, and then you may have the opportunity to explain. But we need the answer, so then we can move on.
I believe I'm able to explain my answers.
I believe she's able to explain her answers.
And that's,
Ms. Merchant, that's okay. I can handle it. Ms. Willis, I'll ask you to listen to the answer, or excuse me, the question, and keep the answers confined to the questions that you can. I think you'll have more than enough ample opportunity on when the state.
Well, it's highly offensive when someone lies on you, and it's highly offensive when they try to implicate that you slept with somebody the first day you met with them, and I take exception to it.
Well, Ms. Willis, you'll have the opportunity to explain all of that when it's the state's turn to ask more open-ended questions. Ms. Merchant.
thank you, Judge. So again, my question was, you all met at that conference, though, right?
We did.
Okay.
He, as I stated, he taught the class. I did not actually meet him
She said y'all met at the place. God, yes or no, baby?
when he taught the class. I walked out of the class, and I'm not sure if it was that exact class or we had went to lunch, but we were standing in the vestibule, like outside of the class. Me and Judge Reeves were having a conversation. She had worked at a law firm I worked at back in 1996.
We're getting way far. I mean, I don't mind her explaining her answers, but I literally just asked if they met at that
She's
conference.
explaining how she met Mr. Wade, which was
That's not what she asked. She didn't ask how she met. She did y'all meet? What is? Oh my God! I probably can't do this whole thing.
exactly the question asked by Ms. Merchant. These answers are more than appropriate.
Ms. Merchant, if you want more concise answers, I'm going to ask you to do the witness.
I will. Thank you, Judge. Isn't it true that you met Mr. Wade in October 2008
I'm going
at
to
the judges'
object. We
conference?
haven't gotten to the point where Ms. Willis should be treated hostile in this situation.
I think
And
we
I very much want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be
It's not
here.
so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, to be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to instructions.
Thank you.
Churches are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine.
Oh Lord! And because she's a lawyer and a judge too, she is going back and forth with the judge. I just don't understand.
All right.
Judge, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, things moving. Ms. Merchant, next question,
Thank you.
please.
Okay, so we've confirmed when you met. After that, isn't it true?
No, I need to explain this, and I think I get to explain my answers. When I met him, Judge Reeves introduced us. He handed me his business card. I'm unsure if I handed him my business card, but we exchanged information. He said, if you ever need any help, give me a call.
That doesn't matter. That's not what she asked you, man.
And he walked to the parking lot.
So after that,
All right,
you started
I'm
dating
calm.
shortly thereafter, correct?
That's a lie. That's one of your lies.
She asked a question. Just answer the question.
Do you know Robin Yuri?
I know her as Robin Bryant. I knew her. So Robin did not go to my college. She went to the college of, I went to Howard University, and she went to Morgan State.
Why does she have to explain every single question? I don't understand that part.
I met her through some people I knew. In college, we hung out a bit. Not much because she was in Baltimore and I was in Washington, D.C. But we hung out a bit. After college, I lost contact with her.
What that has to do with what she asked her?
I probably didn't see Robin again until maybe 7 or 8 years ago. A chance meeting here in Atlanta. But we did not have a consistent
She
relationship
said because she a boss.
from when I left college and came to Emory Law School here in Atlanta. But 8 to 10 years ago, just by happenstance, I ran into her. She was in Atlanta.
You have been friends with Robin for 30-something years.
Did you get my answer now?
Yes, and I'm asking if you've been friends with her for 30-something years.
Yes or no?
I've known her for 30-something years. We certainly hung out and partied together in college. She was from the D.C. area. She would come home and party together. Wasn't close, but she was certainly in
So you known her for 30-some years. Simple.
the girlfriends that party together. And then, like I said, I ran into her about 10 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, she's so smart. What she done?
So we didn't talk throughout that time period. I didn't see her. I didn't even know where she was.
How many of you all have friends that you have not talked to in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? But y'all still like friends. Y'all still have known each other for all these years. What is she doing?
When I ran into her, I was surprised she was in Atlanta. And so, yes, I have known her probably since 1990, 1991, but we have not maintained a consistent relationship that whole time.
Yes, you say, Willie, it's a tactic to make the lawyer give up on their questioning.
For the last 10 years or 5, whatever you'd like to classify it as. Have you been friends with her?
I have not spoken to Robin in over a year. I certainly do not consider her a friend now. I think that she, there's a saying, no good deed goes unpunished, and I think that she betrayed our friendship.
So let's narrow it down to a timeline now. So my questions are going to be from the time period of 2019 until she no longer was employed for you, the last time we all talked. So all of my next questions are just focused on that time frame, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Up until she left your office.
Yes, ma'am.
During 2019, you all were friends, correct?
Yes, we knew each other in 2019.
During 2020, you all were friends, correct?
Yes, we were friends during that time period.
During 2021, you all were friends, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And such good friends that when you needed a place to stay, you asked her if you could take over her lease.
That's a lie.
You did not move into her apartment?
I
Or her
did, but
condo?
that's not the way you characterize it. It's wrong.
I asked if you could take over her lease.
I did not ask if I could take over her lease.
Did you move into her apartment?
I moved into her condo in April of 21. The
Ooh, condo, bougie. Go ahead, baby.
circumstances around that were that Robin met her husband.
She said that there were circumstances around that. She didn't ask you that, baby. A lot of times it's best to not give. Stop giving was not asked sometimes. She's trying to put everything in a context that she wanted to be in, when that can also get your ass in trouble, because you still don't know where the lawyer is going. You may be giving them shit that they didn't even know. Be careful.
Wanted to move into another and separate place. She wanted to get rid of her condo. My father was living with me at the house. Because of this case and because of my stance on gangs, my life was being threatened regularly. My father urged me to leave our home. At the same time, as luck would have it, Robin wanted to give up her lease because she wanted to move in with this new man she met, who eventually became her husband.
Do y'all remember what was asked? Do y'all remember what was asked? No? Don't worry about it.
And so, as life circumstances work, my dad was begging me to leave the house. He was afraid for me, afraid for his grandchildren. She wanted someone to take over her lease so that she didn't, have to pay a fee or get abandoned. And so, I don't remember when, probably March or April of 21, I moved in and take over her lease.
And did you pay her or did you pay the leasing agent?
No, I don't even know who the leasing agent was. I paid her.
You paid her. Did you pay her cash or did you use a card?
There were some times that I would give her cash, but mostly I paid her via Cash App. That would be the most convenient thing. So I would not only give her her rent, but then like when the utilities would come in, whatever the utility was, she might be like, I need $70, I need $100.
So the utilities were still in her name. Go ahead.
Whatever it was. And we never had a problem with money. Whatever she told me it was, I never asked to see a bill. I never questioned her. I just gave it to her.
What percentage would you say you paid cash versus Cash App?
Oh, the vast majority is Cash App. I don't know what percentage, I'm not going to guess that, but the vast majority is Cash App. But there would be times she would say, this bill came in at $70, it was $70.
Did you have a monthly rent amount that you paid her?
I can't remember. It was $1,400, $1,500. I can't remember what it was. And it would vary, which I still understand to this day. But like I said, I never questioned her. Whenever she said it was, that's what
You never questioned what the rent was, and the rent would vary? Go ahead.
I abruptly moved out in February, either late January or early February of 22.
Of 22. February 2022 is how she said?
January, February of 22.
So she was paying rent back in 22. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Shout out to Dolph for the $2 super chat. He say, Fanny playing chess with them. He say, she knows the game. Oh, yeah. See, but one thing about knowing the game, your mouth can still get you in the world of trouble. You can know the game and you can slip up. So I hope she don't slip up. She's doing good, except for when she's making these long ass explanations for some shit that should have just been a yes or no. So we can get the party going. What's going on, baby?
I believe it is January, but I paid her half the rent February 22 is what I remember. And because I was offering to pay the whole rent, even though I didn't live there, I didn't think it was right. I didn't, I ended up just paying her half the rent.
So that's after you moved out? You said you made it happen. Okay. And the time that you said you had to move out of your house because you were scared, did your dad stay there at your house?
My father was concerned. Yes, we were both concerned.
Okay.
Both concerned. Did your father stay there? Yeah, we were both concerned. You say Fani not lying because she knows the consequences. Willie, don't believe all women, but even when they acting bad, don't mean they wrong. Oh no. I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that.
But he remained there.
My father was 80 years old. He lived in 79. He was scared to death of COVID. You have to go back to when this was. My father's an older man. I wanted him to move out. We had some discussions about him moving out, and what he decided was the risk of COVID was more dangerous than the risk of the people that were threatening. Typical man, more worried about his daughter and his grandchildren.
Yeah, because we worry about the kids like that right there. That's what daddies do.
His own safety. You'll get to meet him, and you'll understand he doesn't scare too easily.
So his grandkids were living at the house as well at that time?
Well, I don't know how old your children are, but when you have adult children, they leave and they come back. They leave and they come back. So there have been periods of time that they're there, they come.
She asked, did the grandchildren stay there, man?
Whatever they want to do. Children do what children do. As long as their mother has a house, they'll come to it. Unfortunately,
Yes, as long as a mama has a house. So why do you even have to explain that when we all know that?
now the threats because of this case have gotten so extreme. I just pay a mortgage and no one lives there.
And that's what I was going to ask you. So when you moved out in, I think you said April 2021, you left your dad and your two kids at the house?
My dad and my two kids were not at that house.
They were not. Okay, so they didn't still live at your house.
See, when you long talk some shit, listen. When you long talk some stuff, see, she gave her something that she did not have, but she just added it. She added it on because you presented it. Shut your mouth. Keep your answer short and precise.
Youngest daughter certainly did not live there. My oldest daughter would come back and forth. I can't say month for month when she was there and when she was not there. I know that she has been there post me moving out. At this time, no one is at my house.
So at some point after you moved out for the safety reasons, at least one of your children did come back to the house.
We get to the relationship.
Sure. Yes. So
The judge was like, enough of this shit, man. Then move on.
let's see, we were back at 2021. So you were still friends with Miss Erie then. Were you also friends with Mr. Bradley?
I've never been friends with Mr. Bradley.
You've never been friends with Mr. Bradley?
No, I don't consider us to be friends. I don't dislike Mr. Bradley, but I don't consider us to be friends.
Is he someone that you would have on your phone and you would message with?
I might have text messaged him.
I might have text messaged him. I shouted you out, Dolph. For the $2 super chat, say Fani playing chess with him. Yeah. Shout out to C-Note for the $1.99 super chat. Say she sound like my ex.
Would you text message him and Mr. Wade on the same conversations?
I don't recall doing that, but if it happened, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so that wouldn't surprise you, the three of you. Okay. How frequently would you think that the three of you would text?
Not very, I wouldn't think very often, but you're asking me to recall. I don't even know the time period you're asking me to recall, but I'm not going to speak to that because I just really don't know the answer to that. So I don't want to speculate as to how often that would happen. But it's not out of my practice to text two people on one text message. So if you told me that happened and showed it to me, it wouldn't surprise me, although I have no recollection of it.
But there would be some record of it in your phone, or the phone records would have some record of those texts.
Perhaps.
We talked about, you said that sometimes you paid Miss Erie cash. When you went on vacation with Mr. Wade, let's just go one by one. Let's start.
Say, Willie, calm down. She fighting for her life. Let me take it easy. Go ahead.
What's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade?
First vacation.
I think the first time we went on vacation was around April of 22, and it's a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive. I recall April of 22. His birthday is March the 18th. So that would have been his 49th birthday. I took him to like Tennessee for the day. I think we went to a museum. I think we might have stayed the night. I'm not sure, but I mean, Tennessee's kind of hard to call a vacation, but I just am trying to be inclusive.
So what? People can't go on vacation in Tennessee? Don't they got mountains and shit and cabins and stuff? You can go on vacation in Tennessee, shout. You say Fani gonna go on Club Shay Shay. Got to be more careful. Jesus. Hey, she need to come on the Willie Williams show. We will treat her not as a hostile witness. We won't.
And like I said, I know it wasn't more than a day.
Chance for the night.
I think that we did. That's what I'm telling you. I think that there's a possibility that we stayed that night.
She asked her when the first time y'all went on a vacation, a trip or something, right? A vacation, yeah. Her answer should have been, like she said, damn it, I think it was, because his birthday was, and it was April 22, and hushed.
In April of 22.
Who paid for the hotel?
I think I did. It was his birthday.
Ooh, paying for that meat. That's what I'm talking. Shout out to Fani, my dog. Free my dog. Let her go. She paying for players out here. Shout out to Robert for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that right there. Here we go.
And would you have used your credit card?
Uh-oh.
Probably maybe a debit.
Maybe a debit card. What the?
And you all start. When did you start dating?
When I started dating Mr. Wade, it was right around then.
April 2022?
22. Yeah,
Okay.
so it was around then. I don't know, like, it's not like when you're in grade school and you send a little letter and it says, "Oh, you be my girlfriend." Check.
My girlfriend, bitch.
I don't know the day that we started seeing each other, but it was early 22 is my recollection.
April.
Okay, early 22. And you all went to Florida on vacation as well?
Florida?
I don't recall going to Florida on vacation.
You never went to Florida this way?
When we went to get on the cruise ship, we went to Miami.
Okay, that's the only time that you went to Florida with him?
I think we went to Miami and spent the night.
Nobody asked you that. See, you're doing too much. Shout out to Kevin for the $2 cash out. Say ain't nothing wrong with being a freak, Fani. Damn show ain't. Do your thing, sister. We with you. Women's lib. Get it in.
That's my recollection. I think we spent one night so that we wouldn't miss the ship. That's my recollection of our
Who paid
day.
for that hotel?
Who paid?
In Miami?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
And how'd you get to Miami?
Uh-oh.
We would have flown. And we've done that, so that I'm clear, we've done that twice. I think one time we stayed, and I honestly can't tell you, did we stay when the ship left, or did we stay when the ship came back? I also can't tell you, so there's 2 cruises out of Miami. There's one that's in that October time period that was with his mom, and then there was another that was a New Year's Eve trip. I know I paid for the New Year's Eve trip because the tickets were $697 each, and I thought this is ridiculous that the tickets are $700 to go to Miami, but when you travel during New Year's Eve, they issue.
That's right.
So let's just back up and talk about the first time that you went to Florida with Mr. Wade. That was the time that you said you stayed in Miami at the hotel the first night?
That's the time I told you I am not sure.
Maybe.
So I'm not sure of 2 things, so I want to make sure that my testimony is clear. I'm not sure if we stayed in Miami on the October trip. I'm not sure if we stayed in Miami on the December trip. I just can't remember that. And I also don't remember, so that the record is clear, I don't remember if the necessity was as we got on the ship or we got off the ship.
Okay.
But I do remember there was a night spent in Miami because either whatever, I don't remember. But I think that there was a night spent in Miami.
That cruise is the one that you took in October, right?
Ma'am, if you have something to refresh my recollection.
If you can give me something to where I don't lie, then go ahead on and give it to me so I can tell you if you right about the information that you have, baby. But you questioning me, I can't remember which one it is,
I'm intentionally trying to not be difficult with you, but I don't want to make up something.
Right.
I know that on one of those 2 trips, we stayed in Miami.
Okay.
I am not sure right now. You're asking me about.
Oh, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. I was not asking you which night you stayed in Miami. I'm asking if you took a cruise in October 2022 with Mr. Wade.
Yes, and his mom.
And his mother, that's what I was asking.
Yes.
Okay,
Is that the first time you met his mother?
Yes.
It was on that cruise, and that was Royal Caribbean, I believe.
A player took you on a cruise with his mama? What the hell going on? We don't go. All right, go ahead, pimp.
I honestly don't remember.
You say this gonna be a Tubi movie? Yes.
What ship? I know we're taking 2 cruises. I don't know what the ships were.
But he paid for the flight and the cruise on Royal Caribbean that time.
Says you don't know.
So yes, he paid. He is the original one that does it. He has something called Mr. Wade is a world traveler. I'm not as versed as him. He's been to 6 of the 7 continents.
Shout out to Jermaine for the $1 cash out. You say Fanny paying for that good meat out here. That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So he had
More of you all need to be paying for some good meat instead of paying for the meat that's peeing in your night that ain't worth a damn. But go ahead.
both a personal travel agent and he also has a cruise travel agent. I don't know anything about either of those kind of travel agents. So he is the one that would book the travel, but we need to be clear when we're talking about just because he booked it doesn't mean, like, I don't consider him having taken me anyplace. Let me just be honest. The only one that's ever taken somebody someplace is for his 50th birthday. I consider that I took him to Belize. And I took him to Belize because...
You took him to Belize for the birthday, right?
You know, I don't want to discuss his personal business, but I'm happy Mr. Wade is still here with us. And
So you just let us know that he has some type of medical issue. Go
I
ahead.
did 50 big.
50
Very
big.
So
She did 50 big. What is that? 50,000? What is she talking about?
still on that October World Caribbean cruise, even though she had a travel agent. I'm sorry.
Can you do me a favor? I don't know what cruise ship, what time. So if you'll help me and say October cruise with Mama or the New Year's Eve trip with his sisters, I'll be able to communicate. I just don't know what ship.
Oh, she did 50 big because he turned 50. But she said 49. Oh, no. That was when they had a met. All right. So she did the big 50. All right. Got it. Bam. Here we go. Appreciate y'all.
October cruise with Mama. That's what I'm talking about.
October with
And
Mama.
he paid for the cruise and the flights for that trip.
So he called his cruise agent
Okay.
and he booked that cruise because he has a cruise agent.
Okay.
He also has a regular agent. I don't know the cruise agent's name.
So I wasn't asking about his travel agent. I was just asking
But
if
I'm
he
trying to-
paid for those.
He did not though.
Okay.
So then just say he didn't. Simple. Did he pay for the cruise? He got a travel agency and he called his travel agency. Jesus.
Because the reason I consider that he did not is I gave him his money back.
Did he pay? Bitch, did he pay? All you had to do is say, yes, he paid. I paid him back. She's the one with the degrees. I just want y'all to get this out. But she's a female.
And I was about to ask that, but initially he paid for that.
Yeah, he called his cruise agent.
All you got to do, say, yes, he paid for it, baby. Now you going through all this walking and talking. And ladies, I want y'all to understand, when y'all do all this talking, we know that you lying about something.
I think they have his card on record. They do whatever.
Okay.
So
So
that mean he paid.
initially he paid for the cruise and the flight to Miami and the Royal Caribbean cruise.
And my understanding of that October cruise is like it was a package the lady did for him.
So he
So,
paid.
and I'll get to the reimbursements and all that. I'm just trying to confirm he paid for the flight and the cruise in October.
And I think that when you say things that way, I want this record to be
Initially.
abundantly clear that he called his travel agent, he called his cruise agent. They do whatever he tells them. He's like on the first name
So
basis
what that got to do, you want to make it clear. So he paid. Move on.
with these people. They do it, and then he tells me how much it is, and I give him the money back. I don't.
But he has to pay for it initially. He has to pay. His credit card, and everything, they got his credit card, so he's going to pay for it. Then you just pay him back. So it's simple.
Just like you're asking me about the money with Robin. I don't do my friends like that. So if you tell me it's a G, then you're gonna get $1,000. Whatever it is, I didn't.
If you go, and she is a judge, a lawyer, a DA. If you tell me it's a G, boy, the community coming at her. Go ahead.
Or make him produce receipts to me. Whatever he told me it was, I gave him the money back.
Isn't it true that he paid for the cruise and the flight on his credit card? I'm not asking about reimbursement or after. He used his credit card to buy the cruise and buy the plane,
I
correct?
have no idea how he paid for it.
Okay.
If it's a credit card, if it's a debit card, but certainly he called his cruise agent.
She's still doing too much. If you don't know, say I don't know and hush, baby.
You know, like how many people have a cruise agent? He calls his cruise agent.
You know good as hell well, if he has a cruise agent and he's doing something over the phone, you know that they is taking it by some type of, some form of a card. We know this, credit or debit. You're doing too much.
Tells them where they want to go. They tell them what's booked. You have to remember, he paid for that initial was me, him, and his mother.
And then after that cruise, you all flew to Aruba and spent a couple days in a hotel there, correct?
Right, and his mother was not
And
happy.
he
And we
initially
left her
paid for
behind.
that.
His mother was not happy because we left her behind. Ain't nobody asked you that, baby. Again, talking too much.
He initially paid for that.
For Aruba, yes ma'am.
Yeah. So let's talk about both of those. And when he initially paid for it, did you pay him back?
For the cruise and for Aruba, yeah, I gave him the money before we ever went on that trip.
You gave him cash before you ever went on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
She say, no, lady. No, lady. Uh-oh.
You would not go to the ATM.
No.
Okay. So Fulton County pays you direct deposit, I assume?
Yes, Fulton County and the state of Georgia both pay me direct deposit.
Okay. So the cash that you would pay him, you wouldn't get it out of the bank.
I have money in my house.
You have money in your house. So
Got money in your house. Smart move, like we talk about around here. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you leave all your money inside the doggone bank, when these people decide to go in on and cut your ass off, you cut off. You better keep some money inside your house. You better do like grandmama and them had done did. They used to keep it inside their bras and some inside their panties. I'm trying to help. That's a good thing that she did. Go ahead.
there's money that was there.
When you meet my father, he's going to tell you as a woman, you should always have, which I don't have, so let's don't tell him that. You should have at least 6 months in cash at your house at all times. Now, I don't know why this old black man feels like that.
I don't know why this old black man feel like that. What do you mean old? There's young people that feel like that. There's young people that don't trust the system to where they would leave bill money inside of the bank and they will take the rest of their money out. It don't take an old man to know. Whoo, and they more educated. Go ahead.
But he does. When we were growing up, my daddy had 3 safes in the house. So my father's bought me a lockbox, and I always keep cash in the house.
And that's crazy because most of the elderly people thought like that. They always kept money inside the house. Remember, like they say, you should not keep your money up under the mattress in case the house burned down, then you lose all your money. Try to put you in fear to put all your damn money inside the bank for some other people to control, huh?
Now, I don't do it to the degree that my father would do it.
Nobody asked her all this.
He would probably be ashamed with me, but I always have cash at the house.
Just say you keep money at the crib, shout it, and move on.
That has been, I don't know, all my life. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go.
Why if the man act up? Let's just say that his card don't work. Hell, anybody who has credit cards, debit cards, if your money is in the bank, you should always keep money on you. The systems may go down. Anything may happen. You need cash. Cash is king.
So I keep cash in my house, and I don't keep cash as good in my purse like I used to, because I don't go on many dates. But when
you shouldn't have to keep money inside your purse because you go on dates. You should have money in your purse because you should have money in your purse. It's simple. Have more than one way to pay for stuff.
you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
So my question was, where did that cash originally come from? If it didn't
Cash,
come out of the bank?
cash is fungible. We've had cash for years in my house. So for me to tell you the source of where it comes from, when you go to Publix and you buy something, you get $50, you throw it in there. It's been my whole life. When I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that.
Oh, she's trying to see where that cash come from, so they can check her accounts to see if she took a withdrawal out to pay back what Buddy had done spent on the trips.
To tell you, I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much today as I would normally have, but I'm building back up now. So we just put money in. It's a very good practice. I would advise it to all women.
So you can't identify.
Why not all people? I just told y'all, I said it to y'all, right? Y'all, everybody need to do it. She said, I just would advise this to women. Fellas, I keep trying to take, they don't care nothing about you.
When you came into this cash or where the cash came from.
I didn't say I couldn't identify it. No, nobody gives me anything. I am sure that the source of the money is always the work, sweat, and tears of me. What you asked me for is, when did the money go in there? What I am trying to tell you is, so I got divorced in 2005 from my husband.
And
I
Don't care about that.
No, it's important. You said, where did the money come from? And I need to tell you where the money came from.
No, you've already stated you've done this for years, for a very long time, that you always kept money at the crib. Just repeat that. I've always had money at my house.
And so for many years, I have kept money in my house. That money,
So stop talking.
in my worst days, has probably only been $500 or $1,000.
That's not her business.
At my best days, I probably had $15,000 in my house at cash.
That's not her business.
Cash. At all times, there's going to be cash in my house.
And that's all you have to stop. Shout out to I Made 60 Look Good Shirley for the $5 cash out. Say, now everybody knows she and her dad got money at the crib. There you go. You see what happens when you do too much talking? You see what happens? Now, all she had to say is, I keep money. I don't leave all my money inside no bank. Simple.
Or wherever I'm laying my head.
the money that you paid Mr. Wade, the cash, in October of 2022, you do not know where that money came from.
I do know where it came from. It came from my sweat and tears.
Do you know which job it came from? Did it come from Fulton County or did it come from a private
It
job?
came from, what are you talking about?
It came from the work I did all my life here. I always kept money. I always kept money on me at my crib. Bitch, I can't tell you from which job it came from. See, y'all don't know how to argue some shit, but go ahead.
So it could have come from a private job because before I was DA, I was in private practice. So
It could have came from the job back when I was a teenager working at Taco Bell or some shit. Didn't I have told you that I always keep money? I've always kept money at the crib. Always mean always. Shout out to T. Lee for the $5 super chat. You say, I'm telling you. Say she giving extra information to control the questioning. Yes, she is.
the money during that time period is probably in there.
You don't know
could have. What do you mean I don't know where it came from? I
I
absolutely
understand the situation. You can move on.
Okay, thanks.
Move
same
on.
with Aruba. You don't know where that cash came from either, right?
Ma'am, you are mischaracterizing my testimony greatly. I'm not going to allow you to mischaracterize my testimony. I know that I keep money in my house. The amounts of money I gave Mr. Wade, it was never that serious. I don't think I've ever handed him more than $2,500 in a reimbursement. So
She didn't even have to say that. You could just keep sticking to, I kept money in my house. And I still do it till this day. Simple.
I'm not talking about $20,000 in cash. I don't have $20,000 in cash right now. The most I ever gave him, I know I gave him $2,500
Was not even asked for.
when we went to the leagues because we went to one hotel and then we went to a second hotel. That $2,500 I actually gave him while we were still in the leagues. I know that the Aruba trip, the one that you described with his mom, I think I gave him about $2,000 for that trip for like total.
His mom went to Aruba with you?
The Aruba trip. So I
Aruba trips. Remember she said that the mama was upset because they did not take her on the trip. Go ahead.
consider that to be one trip. So we
One
got
trip.
off of a cruise ship and then we went to Aruba, which is why I cannot remember is that the time that we had to stay in Miami to work for the flight for Aruba. So I consider that one trip, and we didn't like come back to Atlanta and leave. We flew down to Miami. We got on a cruise ship. We spent a couple of days with his mama. We came back
You already said you considered it as one trip. Hush, let that lady ask you another question, baby.
to Miami. When we came back to Miami,
Say, do Fanny have our only
either
fan?
that day or the next day, we flew to Aruba. We spent a few days in Aruba and we came back. That was really one trip. Even though we went 2 places, it was one trip.
So let's talk about the California trip. Is that when you were moving your daughter out to California? When you went, or did you have 2 trips to California?
My daughter doesn't live in California.
Did she ever live in California?
I'm not discussing to you the location of my child.
Oh, I like that. I like that right there. She thought it. She thought it through. I'm not discussing the location of my child. Didn't I just had done told you that I had to move out my crib? I had to move out my crib because of me going after Young Thug them. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I be getting threats. So why would I tell you where my daughter live at? I'm glad that she slowed down and listened to the question.
So how many times did you go with Mr. Wade to California?
Once.
And you all stayed in Napa Valley and he paid for the plane tickets and the hotel?
He paid for the plane tickets and the hotel.
And what did you pay for on that trip?
I gave him much less cash that time, probably $400 or $500, and then I paid for a bunch of stuff. I think we did 2 different wine tours that you do, which are pretty expensive.
Yes, it is in
I think
California.
I bought him. He likes wine. I don't really like wine, to be honest with you. I like Grey Goose.
I'm a Grey Goose chick. No.
I bought him a bottle of wine while we were there, and the sippings that you do. I can't remember how many, like 4 or 5 different places you go. I remember we went to this place that they do pairings. That was the most expensive thing that I think that we did while we were there. So they would pair, champagne, chocolate, and caviar. It was it was like 3 different things. Sweden, Russia, someplace else. I'll make that up. But
Said that Grey Goose, that Grey Goose get you low.
that was the most expensive thing we did that trip, and I paid for that.
And listen, nobody asked her what she liked to drink. Too much information, baby.
Pay cash.
Did you pay
Well,
cash?
us doing that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that trip did not cost me a lot of money. I might have took like $750 in cash on me. We weren't gone very long.
I only asked if you paid in cash. I don't even know the amounts.
She don't need to know the amount. See, just answer the question.
When I travel, I always take cash.
And is the cash that you keep in your house, or do you keep it at the condo that you're living in?
So now you asking where she keep the cash at? Go ahead, baby.
So at that point, it wouldn't be at my house, and I'm sorry if I was not clear. The money would be wherever I laid my head. So I wouldn't leave the money at the house. So if
Why do we keep going back to where the money comes from when I just told you I keep money at my house? I always have. I don't even have to tell you how much money. See, because again, like I had done said, she's trying to see if if there's any record or any receipts of her going to the bank taking the money out. She want to see where the money comes from, and this is why the system don't want you to keep money. This is why the system don't want you to keep money, because they don't know where this money is coming from. They have no idea. And this is why you need to start making it a habit. You need to make it a habit, damn near. Every time you get paid, you need to go take you some money out.
no, money's gonna be where I say.
How much did you pay for your trip to Panama?
To where?
Panama?
I didn't go to Panama.
I may have the location wrong.
I never went to Panama.
So after
Wade went.
She said, I may have the location wrong. Stop talking. Stop talking.
To Panama with his frat brother.
Oh, he went to Panama
So he went to Panama with his fat brother. She need to know that. Hush.
with his frat brothers. So tell me about, let's see. So I want to make sure I've got them. You've got Belize. You already covered Belize. You covered the...
So let me tell you our real trips. And
Let me tell you our real trips. Why you offering information, baby? Let that baby work for her degree.
in October, we went on the cruise with his mom. We got back from the cruise with his mom, and we went to Aruba.
You say coming from an accountant, cash is king. I'm trying to tell people, all right.
Consider that one trip. Second trip, New Year's Eve,
New Year's.
we went on a cruise to the Bahamas.
Bahamas.
That's the second trip.
That's where the girls
Make sure I
got
get this
great.
right. Third trip, 100% on me. I think he might have spent $200
Third.
on that entire trip. We went to Belize.
Belize.
That was my trip. That was, his 50th.
Big 50.
And then Napa Valley,
Napa.
we went around May. I don't know the dates, but it seems to me like it was close to Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
And those are the only trips?
4 trips.
So that the record is complete. I can remember one time driving to South Carolina and we met my sister for lunch with her man.
When
We
was
didn't
that?
stay I don't know, but we didn't stay the night there. But I guess people would consider that a trip if you drive somewhere and you come back. That was insane because it was like 5 hours to drive. We ate lunch and we drove right back.
Yeah, we do that on motorcycles, baby. But go ahead. Go.
I can remember
Say Fani is a sugar mama on the low.
driving to some little town in Georgia. I don't even know where I was. I had never been there before or after. There's some boat you can get on over to, and there's like a slave thing, if that gives anyone any reference. We didn't do that. I remember doing that.
You like some slave
I
thing.
remember driving one time to Charlotte. We had lunch with one of my very close girlfriends. And again, we drove to Charlotte, met my girlfriend for lunch, and drove right back. So that's a trip. We didn't stay the night there, but I just want to be complete in my testimony. We drove someplace, had
Say she dry snitch. Go
lunch,
ahead.
drove back.
This sounds like a confession to me or bragging. Hey, it could be both.
I don't remember another driving someplace distant for lunch and coming back to Charlotte to see a girlfriend, to meet my sister in South Carolina.
This could have been way shorter, y'all.
We went by ourselves when I told you about that remote place in Georgia.
I have no idea. You say, is she originally a defense attorney or a prosecutor? I have no idea.
We could have driven someplace else and had lunch and came back.
And y'all do know that she have counsel. She's hired a lawyer. Guess what she didn't do? She ain't hire a black one.
That's all that comes to my recollection right now. There could have been another place we drove and had lunch. My security team was very clear to me. I'm not to be out and about in Atlanta without them. And so for me to do something just very normal that a normal person would get to do, they weren't prosecuting this case, I got to drive 4 hours to do it.
And that's what I was going to ask you, your security detail, did they take you to and from your house?
They take, well, so I haven't been able to enjoy my home.
Condo, I'm sorry.
Since March of,
Where you lay your head? Did they take you to and from
Where you lay your head, did security take you? Yes or no?
where you lay your head?
99% of the time.
Okay.
Would they take Mr. Wade to and from wherever you laid your head?
That has never in the history of ever happened, ever, okay?
Just say no, baby. It's okay.
Your security team has never taken him?
From my house, that's a lie.
From where you lay your head. Because she is making it, she's separating the two. Where you lay your head and your house. You said that you don't live in your house, and you keep your money where you lay your head.
I'm asking if they've ever taken him in.
And I'm telling you that that's never happened.
Okay, fine, baby. We'll just ask a question.
So your security team has never taken Mr.
My
Wade anywhere?
security team has never taken Mr. Wade from any place where I have lived and brought him here. Never. Not once. Not ever.
Have they ever taken the two of you together?
To where?
Anywhere.
Anyway.
We've left this building and gone to lunch, but I go to lunch so rarely that is a very rare occasion, I am sure. And let me be clear, it wouldn't just be Mr. Wade. So I'm sure my security team has taken me to lunch. Probably been a time I've left here 7 o'clock, gone to get something to eat, and I don't even know that they would have taken him or if he would have driven himself, but they've taken me to do that. But we're talking very few, very far in between. Most days I don't even eat lunch, and when I do, it's because my assistant has heated up some bag, something, and I eat through meetings and eat in my office. It's not a practice of mine to go to lunch.
A lot of times when we be over talking and talking too much, we're trying to get people to believe us. And she could be telling the 100% truth. But when y'all do this, it brings a lot of doubt to thinking people.
During the time period that you were dating, would your security team ever take you two together anywhere?
No.
Never.
If there was a lunch that occurred that I just described, if there was a meal that occurred that I just described.
You say her strategy is to keep the attorney from asking all her planned questions, and she's succeeding. She's doing a good job at it. Yes, yes, yes. She is.
Anything outside of that, and it needs to be very clear. Not often. Once, twice. because I want to be over-inclusive, I'm saying once or twice. I'm not certain that it happened, but I'd rather be over-inclusive with you.
You say I like them big forehead babies. Go ahead.
So your office objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken.
I'm not gonna think.
Well, no. I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial. So,
Ooh, her lawyer was just trying to object, and she cut her own lawyer off to say that right now. Go ahead, baby.
my question was, do you have any
I
problem?
object to you getting any personal records of
I
my
got it.
We're not dealing with the privilege to a witness.
And I'm not, no, I'm not dealing with privilege. What we had offered to put them in camera for the court to review, and I just want to know if she has any
That's not something
problem.
to do with a witness.
Okay, you have to file as part of your job something called an income and financial disclosure report, correct?
That's correct.
And you filed your first one. So you,
Oh, she don't like that a lighter hue sister questioning her. I just figured it out. That's why she's snapping right now. But go ahead. Well, no, she's snapping because this attorney lied on her, regardless of her hue. She say that she lied. Go ahead. And you will snap when somebody lying on you. Go ahead.
you filed 2 today, is that right?
Is it 2 or 3?
She about to put cases on everybody.
File 21, 22.
I wouldn't be surprised if the attorney right here got some kinfolks and they put a RICO on one of her kinfolk.
Maybe I haven't filed 23 yet, because isn't it due like June of the next year?
April, I believe. So you filed, let's see, you filed your first one, it looks like April 15th, 2022, and your second one, April 17th, 2023. Does that sound familiar?
That I don't remember the dates, but you're an officer of the court. I'm gonna hope you're telling the truth now.
May I put,
I'ma hope you telling the truth now when she did them lies on you earlier. Girl, go ahead.
may I approach the witness?
You right?
Thank you. I already gave the state a copy. Is it 20 and 21? If you can look at those. Your report was served back up.
Can somebody bring me some? Yeah.
Her glass.
All guys are getting a little old.
Eyes get a little old. You gonna scratch your lens up like that, baby. Got to use a piece of thing like I got.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That baby got on them glasses. Now y'all know what we say about them baby with them glasses. They they look feminine.
Those are the ones that you filed.
This looks like me for sure.
I like her gray
Yes,
coming in. Though.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Should we move to admit 20 and 21?
I think you need to delineate which one's which
20
one's which.
is 2021, so it accounts for the time period, Your Honor, January the 1st, 21 through December the 31st, 2021. That is Defendant's Exhibit 20. Defendant's Exhibit 2021, it accounts for the time period, January the 1st, 2022 through December the 1st of 2022.
Say Fani isn't as powerful as she thinks she is. She will find out. Ooh.
All right, any objection to exhibits 20 and 21?
Nope.
No,
Sorry.
From other counsel? Read without objection.
Okay. When did your personal relationship with Mr. Wade end?
Okay. When did it
Our
end?
personal relationship ended in
Come on.
this
Yeah.
year.
This year.
So let's be very clear so that we don't mix words. I don't want to mix words in here. Mr. Wade is my friend right now. Mr. Wade, I would say, has been my friend since 2020. I think he started out as like a mentor and a professional colleague. He became my friend and somebody that I really respected. I feel very indebted to Mr. Wade for taking on the task of this job. And he is certainly my friend and one of the people that I respect the most.
I'm glad that she broke it down to try to clarify because she did say relationship. But the lawyer didn't specify what type of relationship. See, we have relationship with people, but that don't mean that it's sexual. So I'm glad that she breaking it down here. So she listened. Go ahead.
So if you ask about a personal
Relationship, yeah.
I consider myself to have a personal relationship right now, Mr. Wade. I consider myself to have a personal
Yeah.
relationship with Anna Cross.
I'm glad she breaking it down like this right here now.
I consider
Smart.
myself to have a personal relationship with Mr. Abadi. I consider myself to have a personal relationship with Andrew Evans.
Okay, let me just
So
clarify that
I
before
have
we
a
move.
personal relationship with him.
Notice now the lawyer saying, let me clarify. Oh, she knew exactly what she did when she asked the question that way.
As we we speak right now.
A romantic
I don't think that's what you're asking. I think
A
that's what
romantic
you're asking.
relationship.
Romantic.
When did your romantic relationship with Mr. Wade end? When did it
End.
end?
When did it end?
Me and Mr. Wade,
Come on.
we are good friends.
When did it end?
My respect for him has grown over these 7 weeks of attacks.
When did it end?
We are very good friends.
When did it end?
I think, but for these attacks, it would have been a friendship that, as life goes, you would have stopped having.
So y'all would have stopped having y'all would have stopped hunching. Eventually, right?
I think that you have cemented that we'll be friends till the day we die.
That ain't what. Damn it, answer the question, baby. Answer the question. Shout out to I Make 60 Look Good. Shirley for the $5 cash out. Say she look like a teacher. She speak like a hood bee. Come on, Fanny. Come on, baby.
Could we just have an answer to the question?
I can handle this.
I like that. I like the other attorney or lawyer say, man, damn, can we just get an answer to the question? She doing too much. Come, damn, judge.
She asked about personal relationship.
She asked when the romantic relationship ended.
Even the judges now, she asks, when did it end? Even the judge life hits you is not going to answer the question.
It's sometime in, I'd say late summer of 2023. So I don't believe in, this is what you're really asking about. This is the salaciousness of all of this, right?
It's not what she really asked. She just asked when did it end. You don't know where she going.
No, I'm just asking about your romantic relationship. When you stopped dating? I'm asking.
I think that me and Mr. Wade, so he's a man. He probably would say
He's a man, and what he probably will
June
say.
or July.
June or
I would say we
July.
had a tough conversation in August.
You say August.
So that
He's a man, so he would say June or July. I would say August. She got a point. Listen, when it's over for us, it's over for us. A lot of women, it may take longer for it to be over because y'all ain't had that serious conversation.
men in relationships at the end of physical intimacy.
Yes,
Women in relationships when that tough conversation takes place.
yes. If we ain't hunching no more, we ain't together. If we ain't hunching, we ain't together like that.
And where,
So she got a point now. I give her that.
when did he come to, I guess, the condo? I'm not sure what you called it, condo apartment. Would he come and stay at that condo or visit you there? I'm sorry, visit you there.
What condo, what apartment, I want to be clear.
So, not your house. I know you classified one as house and one as condo, so I'm trying to use those terms.
There's been more, see what you don't understand is because of this case I gotta move.
Okay, but damn it, so you know she's trying to say where you lay your head at. But because you have separated from your house to the apartment to the condo to here to there, she's trying to be specific. She asking for your help. How do you want to classify it?
So I need
First, we need
to,
to ask a more precise
yes,
question.
please give me
More
this.
precise, but she's trying to use the language that Fanny has been using as far as the home, the condo, but like she started to say was where she lay her head at. So that's what it should be, where she lay her head at. And you is right, women need closure.
Time period.
Mr. Wade visited you at the place you laid your head.
There you go.
When?
Has he ever visited you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear because you lied and it's
Have you ever? Has he ever where you lay your head at? Ever. This is in life.
which one you lied in, right here? I think you lied right here.
Bro, I'm gonna
No. This is the truth.
Judge,
It is a lie.
is.
It is a lie.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
Characterization.
Mr. Sagan, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Be back in 5.
Ooh, she threw it. Shout out to Fanny. She holding her own. Fanny's holding her own. All right, cool. Hold on. She doing the most though. 28. Fanny, hold on, sister. Wait a minute, sister.
I would say.
Hold on, baby. Hold on, sister. Fanny's short. I ain't know Fanny with that. Well, I think I did know. Fanny, we got to get back in the gym though. Listen, I think that she's 49 or 50. Baby, all you got to do is just get back in the gym, baby. Damn it, it's not going to be that hard. All right, let's get it to where she coming back. All right. Was that 32 or 38? Hold on, I pressed play, didn't it? 32, 33. Okay, here we go. We still here. Listen, we is also streaming live on twitch.tv.com, The Willie Williams Show. Appreciate y'all going on around there. We need some more people around there. We're trying to get our numbers up. Here we go. Come on in. Sit yourselves right on down. We need some more thumbs ups. We need some more Wait, I thought that it was ready. Hold on. Let's because we don't want to keep the people waiting. Okay. We have 33. 33. Let's see what 34. 34.
Yeah.
36.
And you put
Wait, hold on.
in these-
Hold on, we gotta go
She's
back one.
saying and answering that
Let's go back one. All right, we ready. Here we go. Come on, lady. Fani, what I need you to do now. Fani just don't went inside the corner like a boxing match, shit like that. What I need for you to do, keep shit short. If she don't act, damn it, if she ain't asked about it, don't answer about it. Nothing. Just answer what she asks you. And let's hear her get the hell on up out of here. Damn it, we got to go to Roof Chris. Later on, we hungry. Well, you can't go to the one in Atlanta because them people out here, they threatening your lives and stuff like that right there. So you may have to drive out to North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that so you can be safe. You know what I'm saying? But listen, hush your mouth. And if you keep some money inside your purse, keep like $100 or less because now you done told people that you keep money on you wherever you lay at. All of this right here, a lot of this stuff, it should have not been said, baby. A whole bunch of this stuff. And I hope when you go back and you look at and you rewind and all this shit, you can give yourself a true and an honest assessment of how you handled yourself. And I'm pretty sure that you is going to do this, but you need to sit down with somebody who is going to be honest with you about your responses.
Thank you.
we're back on the record.
I think I got it good.
Before we proceed, though,
Yeah.
I advise everyone here, this being a room mostly full of lawyers who have spent their lives in and out of a courtroom. We all know what professionalism looks like, what decorum looks like,
Yep.
and devoting ourselves to the rule of law and proper ethics. I would urge everyone to keep those principles in mind, starting with the fact that we won't talk over each other. And from there, we'll get through this. Ms. Merchant.
We'll get through this. Y'all watch your mouth. Speak when spoken to say, Willie, if the judge don't take her off the case, I feel sorry for Trump and his lawyer. Bam.
Thank you, Judge.
Mm.
How often did Mr. Wade visit you at a place where you were living between 2019 and 2021?
Okay.
You want to start with the lie that he lived with me in South Fulton in 2019, a home he's never been to?
Say, do you want to start with the lie?
That's one lie you told me to document. No.
Judge, I didn't ask her about that.
Ms. Merchant, I want you to ask a very precise question. I think she's saying and
That
answering
was precise.
that he did not live with her. So why don't we break that up into smaller
Ever.
parts?
And I didn't ask about living.
And she put in your,
Did-
while we're talking about professionalism, while we're talking about professionalism, she put in 3 different documents
Well,
he
she'll
lived
have
with me.
full opportunity to respond.
In
And file
2000
that with the court.
in 2019,
Shouldn't she be held in like some contempt or something talking over the judge?
He's never been to South Fulton. In 2019, I lived in South Fulton. He has never been to my residence in 2019.
So why didn't you just say that in the beginning? It's so simple. No, he hasn't.
Ever. Not once.
And then you could have said, and yeah, bitch, because you lied and this right here, you this right here. But all you had to do is answer it before even the 5 minutes had done came. It was simple.
in 2019, he's never been to your residence in any place.
Any place.
I lived in my home in South Fulton before I started getting the threats that
You said never any place. Just repeat that. He's never. Moving on.
were here. A house I paid for with my own sweat and tears. I'm no longer able to live there. But in 2019, I did. And in the 2 months of 2019, that I knew Mr. Wade, 3 months, the beginning of October, all of November, and all of December, Mr. Wade never came to my house in South Fulton. Let me help you out. I lived there in 2020. He never came to my house in 2020, let alone live with me, as you put falsely in these documents.
You said never in the beginning. That's just, I don't understand.
In the first 3 months of 2021, when I could still enjoy my home, Mr. Wade never came to South Fulton, and it is certainly a lie that he lived with me.
Yeah, she don't want to make it simple. She don't.
So in 2020, so you said 2019, 2020, did Mr. Wade ever visit you at a place that you
He has
resided?
never been to my home in South Fulton. 2020 was before I knew that a phone call was going to be made and I was going to have to abandon my home. As a result thereof, he never visited, lived at, came to, or has seen South Fulton.
She said, but why do the lawyer keep asking the same question now? She keeps saying he's never.
Qualify that with your home in South Fulton.
That's where I lived in 2020.
In 20, did he ever visit you at a place that you resided?
Said no, never.
Okay.
She already answered that. Come on now.
I don't understand you how people got it. In 2020, I lived in South Fulton.
Okay.
That's the only place I lived in South Fulton. That's before I had to abandon my home, Judge. And at my home in South Fulton, he never came there, okay? So if you don't come someplace, you can't live there.
So that's not to caution. That's going to be my
Thank you.
first time not to caution. We have to listen to the questions as asked.
First time I got to caution you. Watch your mouth. You don't run shit now.
And if this happens again and again, I'm going to have no choice but to strike your testimony. So,
I don't care. That's the black girl thing. I don't care. Do not be the angry black woman in this one. Fani, I got hope that you can make it through. Listen. She can beat this. According to the questions, she can beat the questions. Just answer. It's simple.
to break this down, this merchant's question, I believe, was asking whether you lived anywhere other than South Fulton.
That's not what she asked, though. He's wrong. But even so, she said he's never been to anywhere I have lived. That should answer her question.
I did not live anywhere but South Fulton, Georgia in 2020. That was before I began my prosecution of this case, and it was my plan to only live there.
Did Mr. Wade ever visit you at the condo that you leased from Miss Yurdi?
He visited that condo, yes. He
Okay.
did. Yes.
Okay. Came to the condo.
Did
Got
you
it.
ever spend the night at that condo?
No.
Just visited.
Yeah,
Just-
but we did visit for sure.
Did you ever go out to eat together, other than the lunches you talked about, during 2019 or 2020?
I would think that we probably went to lunch, but it wouldn't have been,
Petty.
let me think, 2019. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm
Let's just say yeah on that right there,
gonna
because
say we probably broke bread
It's food.
someplace in 2019.
we probably broke bread someplace. Why you got to do that? Baby, you is educated.
I don't remember it, but it seems like we would have broke bread sometime in 2019.
Broke bread twice. Why you have to? The judge just talked about professionalism and decorum and all that fly stuff. Now why you got to bring the streets into it?
So I'm gonna say yes, although I have no recollection. But it seems to me like I go out to eat and drink with pretty much everyone, so I'm gonna say yes.
Shout the Buck Good for the $4 cash app. Say add to the pot. Pastor, I appreciate that right there. Y'all, I need some more likes around here. I need some more likes. We're also streaming live on Twitch, twitch.tv.com, The Willie Williams Show. Here we go.
So outside of the vacations that we've already talked about, did you ever go out to dinner?
I mentioned to you that
I'm going to object as to what time period. We're asking very vague questions. I thought we were treating the witness as hostile under 611. We're no longer doing that. So we're going to go back and forth. We need to be more specific with our questions if we're going to treat her as hostile.
All right, Ms. Merchant, it's not so much, I think you can elect between leading and open-ended questions, but I think we are still wondering about, and I think we need to get back on track of focusing on the financial benefit or the relationship.
Okay.
And my next question about if you did go out to dinner, who paid when you went out to dinner?
he paid, I paid.
You both paid.
They both paid. Shout out to Dog for the $5 super chat. Say, I told you, Pastor, she playing chess. She on one. She on one.
Okay, so let me be real clear. We didn't say, oh,
You say she one of them. I am so sorry. I'll read
it
something
was
else. My bad.
$102. You get $51, I'll get $51. I don't operate like that with my girlfriends. I don't operate like that with anyone.
I feel it.
He caught the bill, I caught the bill. Whomever.
Good peoples.
Did you ever pay him through Cash App?
No.
You only ever paid him through cash?
Well, yes. We're talking about, I'm very confused.
You've never given Mr. Wade money through Cash App?
No.
The only
Because, listen, she's trying to find a way that they can track. She wants to know if they can track that paper. You say, Willie, she is playing lawyer word game. She has control all of this. She has control all of this questioning like her and her lawyer playing. The problem is she's giving too much information. And listen, I have not watched this, but this can come back to bite her in the booty later on. I'm just saying.
only money you've ever given him outside of a contract is cash.
I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute.
Ooh.
But I didn't give him money outside in a contract.
Okay, she's trying to throw in, other than you giving him money inside of a contract. That she said that was cute. You tried it.
Happy to know, we're going to answer it since you said it. He worked more hours than he was paid, and the county paid him for the work that he did. So don't be cute with me and then think that you're not going to get an answer.
Ooh.
And I will ask you about the contract in a minute. I asked you about cash. Did you ever pay him anything? I'm trying to qualify my questions. I'm not talking about the contract with Fulton County that was paid. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about outside of that. Did you ever pay him anything other than cash?
I only give him cash a few times in the course of what we're talking about.
So you
If
never
we would go to
used
dinner,
Let her finish her answer.
if we would go to dinner, I wouldn't give him cash because he paid for dinner or I paid for dinner. I've given him cash only a few times in life, probably 4.
Full time.
Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. The least amount of money I've handed him, probably between $500 and $1,000.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
People don't write checks no more, baby.
So you have no proof of any reimbursement for any of these things because it was all cash, right?
Ooh, say you have no proof. And this is the whole thing. The system wants proof. But if they can't prove it and you can't prove it,
Testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
So my
Are you
question
telling
is,
me
do you
that
have
I'm
any
lying to you? Is
proof?
that what you're intimating right here?
I'm asking if you have any proof that you paid him any of these
The proof
monies.
is what I just told you.
No written proof.
written proof. You don't have rented. If you're paying somebody in cash, we ain't paying somebody back with no damn receipts. Come on, shout it, but go ahead. This lawyer talk.
So I have some, probably some transactions like in Belize. I probably spent $500 on my card in Belize. I spent $800, I can't remember, $900 on each of our tickets to go to Belize.
He says she comes off as arrogant and condescending on the stand.
I did the $700. I probably got some minor expenses in Aruba that would be on a card. But for the most part, for those trips, other than, so the 2 cruises, I gave him money for those before we ever left.
He said she didn't need proof. He said, I don't keep proof on dating. The hell, that's what she should have said. Like, what are you talking about? I need proof about giving somebody some money back that they paid for something for me? I don't.
Because of the proof. Let me answer.
Well, the question was if you had any written proof. And so
I answered you that I've had
then
written
we can move
proof.
to the next question. If you've answered if you had any written proof.
That's it. You can move to the next question if you actually answer the question. You say she's aggressive. You say all defense and everything. You say, I know she gave her boyfriend a tough time with that mouth. Say, Willie, say hush. Listen, and that's probably why he stopped the sexual relationship back in June or July, and she stopped hers in August because she wasn't finished talking. Because she had to explain why we shouldn't be together. You know what I'm saying? Why it'll be in our best interest and all that fly shit right there. You're just talking too much. Shout out to Buck Good for the $2 cash app. Say, Pastor, that bitch playing checkers in my eyes. Oh, man.
My question.
I want to make sure that we're clear that for the 2 cruises.
Judge,
That's
I
the
asked if she gave
cruise
her
plus
We're
Aruba.
not going to talk about each other. Ms. Merchant, she answered your question, so you can ask the next question. Ms. Willis and Ms. Cross will have plenty of opportunities to let you clarify answers when it's her turn.
Thank you, Judge. Knowing your role as district attorney, you know that public funds are scrutinized and money is scrutinized and things like that. You understand
I'm sorry, go
you
ahead.
understand you're under a microscope. You have reporting requirements, all of those types of things. You have no record, other than your testimony, of the money that you've given Mr. Wayne.
You already asked that question. Let's keep going.
Who the judge said you already asked that question? Let's keep going.
When you took office, you had a tax lien of $4,600. Did you pay that with cash when you made that tax lien whole?
I probably paid through, however you pay.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Probably paid online. Go ahead. So, with some type of credit card.
but you were saying that you had amounts of cash. You still had that lien in 2022 when you were giving away and going on these trips. So the cash that you gave him, that could have been used to pay his tax lien off?
So she trying to tell her where she should have been paying her money to? So she's saying because she had a $4,600 tax lien that she could have paid the tax lien instead of paying him back for the things that he paid for them to go on the trips for? You trying to tell her where to spend her money at? Bitch, I snap. I
You
snap.
gonna tell me how to pay my bill?
Yes, Jack, this is not relevant.
Okay,
Relates
what-
to why we're here today.
Like, wow. That's what she trying to do.
Ms. Merchant, if you're trying to establish that she was insolvent in some way,
I definitely was trying to establish that she did not have these mass amounts of cash that she's talking about, yes.
She's trying to prove that she did not have the mass amount of money that she's saying. So you trying to tell the courts that she didn't at least have $4,600 at the crib. If you is a lawyer, a judge, a district attorney, and you ain't got $5,000 at your house, there's something wrong with you. Go ahead.
all right. Re-ask the question.
Because you can't prove that she had the money. You can't prove that she did not have that amount of money. Oh, my God.
You had a tax lien in 2022, $4,600.
Yeah.
You say I did?
And you did not use this cash that you had to reimburse Mr. Wade to pay that off, correct?
Correct.
No.
Okay.
I went shopping too when I didn't pay it off.
Ooh, get a Fanny.
And you talked about...
Come on.
You gave a lot of interviews to some authors of a book called Fani Willis, right?
I would not characterize it as a lot. I probably have spoken to them
Your Honor,
2 or 3
Jack,
times.
this last question is relevant as to
I think it's already come up. The finances are discussing the book. I'll rule now.
Thank you.
Ms. Willis, you can continue your answer.
what came up with Mr. Wade as it relates to hearsay statements that he was asked about in relation to what Ms. Willis may or may not have said in relation to an author. So it's not relevant to the testimony that's occurring at this time.
I think Ms. Merchant has said it.
Why she ain't got no black counsel? They're in Atlanta. Huh?
Inside the book, she also makes a statement as to her own finances, and that's that issue.
So you gave interviews to the authors of this book, correct?
Once or twice.
Okay. And
Just to be comprehensive. I don't know if it was 3 times, 2 or 3 times, I think.
you were quoted in the book, and I will give you a chance to say if this is a misquote. You were quoted, when they asked you about if you wanted to run for office for DA, you were quoted, "I really don't want to be financially effed up again." Do you remember saying that?
So what that refers to, so that
Do you remember saying that?
My question first is if you remember saying that.
I remember saying something similar to that, but I would like to be able to explain what that's in
That's fine.
reference to. That's not in reference to anything else. It was a huge sacrifice to be district attorney in Fulton County. Huge. I was doing just fine. I had a municipal court judgeship that was paying me $100-something thousand a year, and like you got to show up twice a week. Easiest thing I've ever done in life. I also had private clients that were paying me to represent them, so I was able to have a law practice and that. Raising 2 daughters by myself, there were times in life where things were hard.
Ooh, single mama, that's what's up. You say cause she lying, Willie, she needed the best liars on the job.
And so I was telling people, I don't really run for DA. I don't want to run for DA. I'm in a good position right now. I got this easy job that I enjoy, being the chief judge at the city of South Fulton. I'm making money at the law firm, and I'm not sure that I want to make this sacrifice. And why does it always have to be me? Eventually, I prayed I think that I was the appropriate person. I think that I did that. So when you're referring to that, what I'm saying is, why should I make a sacrifice again? And what I was not talking about is being district attorney. Once you get elected district attorney, you're in a fine financial position. I make over $200,000 a year. What I was talking about is I ran for judge. When I ran for judge, I took $50,000 of my personal money out of my retirement. And that money ended up being lost.
Oh, out of your retirement? You mean your 401k? Then we have a discussion about you better use your money when you was able to use your money instead of waiting until you retire 70, 80 years from now or late 60s and shit like that right there. Use your money when you're younger to do some shit for yourself.
Yeah.
Because your money is being used by people and they is gaining money off of your money.
I know when you bet on yourself, you're going to have to bet money on yourself.
Facts.
And so what I was talking about was not wanting to go through the personal financial expense of running for office. By no means did I think that I was going to be financially in a bad position once I won. Let's talk about what I was up against because it's important to understand that comment. I had a district attorney who had been here for 24 years. People, it's very relevant as to what my mindset was about this, so I'm trying to answer your question. So what I was saying is
Tailored so it's a finance.
right, but it is about my finances. If I didn't know he put me in the seat, so I had already run for office once. I had spent $50,000 of my own money running, and that was nothing. And so when I'm talking to those offers, I'm talking about the contemplation of the sacrifice of the run. Not the sacrifice of once you become DA. The odds were against me. I was likely going to lose the election based on who I was running against. So that needs to be in the appropriate context.
Isn't it true that the authors also wrote, and you can dispute this if you'd like, that you were broke after that race?
The 2018 race.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a hard race. I wasn't broke like I didn't have any. So broke is relative to depending where you are, but
Yes, broke is relative, depending on who you is. Broke is different. Broke is different. Different people.
that hurt to lose that $50,000.
Hell yeah. It hurt.
Sure, my mental mindset was like, I just gave $50,000 away.
Right. So they characterized it from their conversations with you that you were broke, you had poured your own money into the campaign, and you weren't able to pay your own bills because of your clients couldn't pay their bills to you, and you had a paltry array of family and asset forfeiture cases. It says you were trying to make it month to month. Is that an accurate depiction of your financial situation at that point?
I would want to read that, but I don't remember clients not being able to pay their bills. So
You can't approach this?
you can't.
You may.
Page 30.
They got them
I have
glasses
not
again.
read this book. So like this back here, her ex-husband Fred had run into a financial, I have no information.
I didn't ask about that. I just asked about what they represent from their interviews with you, that you were broke and that you had clients that weren't able to pay their bills.
Can you show me what that is? Because this is where you put the tab, so that's where I read.
Broke, couldn't pay their bills.
Yeah, I'm sure I characterized myself as broke as leaving that $50,000. I don't know that I had her nascent law practice at Paltry Rep. I didn't have. I thought I had a law practice. So this is not correct. I'm sure it's just I didn't have any asset forfeiture cases. So I had one case where they had took one of my clients' money at the airport. I don't know if that's what they're carrying. I don't know. Paltry rate. I did have family law cases. I guess that's what they're talking about. And clients who couldn't pay their bills ain't clients. So no.
Clients who can't pay their bills ain't clients. You say Fani can't keep a man because of her mouth. I can agree.
So my question.
It's hard for litigators, boy, to keep significant others, especially darker hues.
Was just if this was a fair and accurate representation where it says you were trying to make it month to month at that time.
No, I don't think that that is actually a fair and accurate representation, but I am certain that after the 2018 election, I'm still not really happy about having given up that 50,000.
I wouldn't even. I feel the same way, but I'd probably still be crying.
You know when you paid your tax on?
I don't.
You don't? Do you know if you paid it?
I know I paid some taxes. I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
Did you tell anyone at Fulton County Board of County Commissioners about your relationship with Mr. Wade?
Uh-oh.
No.
Did you disclose your relationship to anybody at Fulton County?
Uh-oh.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of Fulton County, I assume that you're familiar with the county code and ordinances?
I said we're not going to cover that this year, Mr. Koshin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge?
I think we said we weren't going to cover the county regulations.
Okay, and I won't. Let me ask you this then. So are you aware that you're required to disclose any relationship with someone that you contract with in Fulton County?
I'm gonna object to the court's prior ruling that you made this morning.
Would this be different because it's a potential for impeachment?
Yes.
What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
Ms. Merchant, you can re-ask the question.
Okay. Are you aware that Fulton County requires you to disclose any relationship with someone that you're doing business with?
I'm not aware, and I know often at times things are confused with state constitutional officers in the county, but I'm not aware.
Okay. So it's not your, so it's your understanding that you don't have a duty to disclose the
She's
relationship?
answered that question. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Did you keep track of this cash that you paid him at all?
What are you talking? I don't understand.
Did you keep track? Did you keep a ledger? Did you keep track of it?
So I've only given him cash, as I mentioned, 3 or 4 times. There's no ledger. This is friends handing money off to each other.
So the answer is no. You didn't keep
I
track
think you
of
already
it?
asked
Just say no, baby.
any written proof whatsoever. And she's
Yes.
answered that.
Okay.
So we covered this. Let's move on.
Move on.
Who were you referring to when you suggested that Mr. Roman's motion to disqualify was racially motivated?
We already said we're not talking about the forensic misconduct that's been alleged.
Mm.
And, okay.
And just so the record is clear, I don't believe I said that his motion was racially motivated, so I don't want that to stay there. I've never said his motion was racially motivated, so that should not be true.
I think it would be best if we don't need to go down that road. We're going to save that for our.
You once said that you would not engage with a personal relationship with anyone that worked for Fulton County, is that correct?
An employee?
Anyone that worked for Fulton County?
An
Anyone.
employee.
Okay. So that's the qualification you give an employee? You would,
I think that's the statement that I made, so if you want to quote me accurately.
so is your position because Mr. Wade was not an employee? Or is your position he wasn't an employee, correct?
Mr. Wade is not an employee, and he will tell you that over and over again.
Say, boy, your baby just cannot keep her that attitude in check to save her life.
I'm sorry, the statement, just so I make sure I accurately quote you. What you said was you won't sleep with people who work under you. Do you not consider Mr. Wade working under you?
I consider Mr. Wade to be an agent.
An agent?
Yeah, an appointee is what I really think of him as.
Your point, whatever merit it has, Ms. Merchant, is on the record. Next question. All right. Do we need any moments in a minute? Mr. Sadow.
Yeah, I'm ready to go, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh. She got a man finna question her? Let's see where they go. We is also streaming live on twitch.tv.com, The Willie Williams Show. Y'all go around there and support a
I'm gonna try to
player.
ask you questions that you can actually answer
Ooh.
without having to explain.
Ooh.
Okay?
Yes, sir, my comprehension skills are pretty good, so we should do all right.
We shall soon see.
Oh.
If I heard you correctly, you moved into what I will refer to as the Yurti condo in either March or April of 2021. Is that correct?
Sometime between late February and April, yes, just so we're clear, yes. But in that time period, you're in the ballpark, we're in the ballpark.
And is that Yurti condo, would you say that it is in Hapeville?
It is in Hakesville, yes, sir.
And you moved in there for safety reasons?
My father, Yes, I moved in there. We were concerned. My father was terribly concerned about me continuing to live at the house. And so that we're clear, people came to my house at 5 o'clock in the morning about the police brutality cases.
It's not what he asked you.
Saying I was going to have a wake-up call. There were security threats due to gang cases. And there were concerns due to that was at the very beginning of this, looking into that. And so for all of those reasons and what was happening, my father wanted me out the house, and begrudgingly I left.
Okay, so the answer to the question was yes for safety reasons.
There you go.
Correct?
Those were all of the things that caused the safety concerns. I'm sorry.
I'm not questioning whether they are or are not safety concerns.
Thank you for, come on,
I just
player.
asked that you moved into this condo, the RT condo,
Right.
for safety reasons, right?
Yes.
At the time that you moved into the condo, be it from February to April of 2021,
Yes.
was your father still living in your house?
Right, because my father.
That's all I asked you.
But I get to explain the answers.
I don't know if there's an explanation. If I ask you, was your father still living at your house, the answer is either he was or he wasn't.
Ooh, I like the way a man talking. I like the way a man talking.
Yes, but you are going to get to argue at the end of this, as we both
I'm not
know.
gonna argue
And so
anything.
I
I'm
would
gonna
like to
ask-
be able to explain why.
I'm
And
gonna-
so,
okay,
I
yes,
don't object.
because my father is an older gentleman, he was worried about COVID and he stayed.
So I
Mr.
believe,
Wilson, I have to say that's the second time. Whenever we have to put it on, stop testifying, okay? You'll have a chance to explain yourself.
That's the second time he had to tell her, your mouth. The second time, I asked you a question. You need to answer the question. Simple.
The question was whether your father was not staying there at the time, and you're clarifying that in your answer as well. You can have a brief clarification, but it shouldn't be something that reaches well beyond the question. All right, Mr. Sadon, you can re-ask the question. We'll see where it takes us.
Okay, thank you. Was your father still living in your house at the time you moved to what I would refer to as the Yurty condo?
Yes, sir, he was due to his concerns
Stop.
related to COVID.
Okay. The safety concern was that there was potential danger at your house. Is that correct?
Yes, my address had been exposed, so yes, there was concerns
No,
about
we don't need to. Why is she answering questions like this? I thought she was educated. Like, what are we talking about?
potential danger at my house.
Okay, so anyone staying at your house in the time period after you went to the Yurty condo was still in danger, correct?
Yeah, well, no,
I think you have to, it's your attorney, Ms. Willis. Sorry, Mr. Bob, your objection is speculation
yes.
to the question of,
speculation.
Her attorney said it's speculation. She said it ain't speculation.
whether someone was still in danger in her condo.
Just let her answer the question.
Or Mr. Sadon wants to rephrase.
I'm not sure.
I was able to understand it.
I've got the objection, and then I have,
I'll withdraw the objection. You can move forward.
So then I remember the question, so I can answer it.
but you can now that the objection's been withdrawn. Can you try to answer that question? Was there
Yes,
still a safety concern
I was-
for people staying at the house?
yes, I was very concerned about my father still living at the house. However, if you have dealt with an older gentleman,
She didn't ask you none of that shit. That was a yes or no.
he was not leaving the house, despite my urging him that I thought
Oh.
he should leave as well. He did not want to leave the house because he was particularly worried at his age about COVID.
Why do the judge even continue to allow her to elaborate like this? Like, this is, it messes up. The whole case is messed up. It's boring.
But that became
We can't get to the
I don't wanna
point.
say I was not happy with that decision on my father's, but I can't ultimately make him leave, and he stayed there too long, in my opinion.
So what?
Thank you. During that period that you left to go to the Yurty condo, did any of your children stay at your house?
Did any of your children stay at the house? This is a yes or no. Shout out to Mr. Gino for the $5 super chat. He says she is a baby and a baby always wants control when they get arrested. Bam.
So I don't think that they were there at that point. Certainly my baby wasn't there.
I'm talking about this entire period. We're talking about, if I remember correctly, and you'll correct me, I'm sure.
I'm
You
sure.
said that you stayed there at what I would call the Yerty condo until January of 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm asking you in that period, which would be February to April of 2021 until January of 22, did any of your children stay at your house?
Any of your children stay at your house? Yes or no? You say, Willie, I have never been this frustrated before.
And you don't have to yell at me.
Oh.
I'm able to understand. So I would ask you to not yell at me.
Oh. Did I just notice something? Do y'all notice when that man came to start questioning her, she toned herself down? And this has to do with her having a daddy now. She toned herself down. She's been humble. But she's still doing too much talking, but she's humble. He is speaking firm and she's saying yelling. That triggered some shit. That triggered in her. She didn't like what her daddy did it to her either.
That
Or
being
neither,
said,
either.
I
Somebody.
don't actually expressly remember, but I can tell you, since I have left my home, there have been times my oldest daughter came in. But I can't tell you with certainty the time window that you said, if they did or not. So I don't want to speculate to that. But there was some time that my oldest daughter came back. Whether it was that period or after I left the Yurdi residence, I'm not sure, okay?
Okay, so if I continue to go into more detail on this, you're not going to be able to give me an answer of whether or not, in fact, any of your children were still at the house or stayed at your house during that time period, correct?
What I can give you clarity of, so that we are clear, is from the time I moved out in February-ish of 2021, after I left there was a time period that my oldest daughter came back. But if you're asking me, was it in that window or after, I just don't have a recollection of that, because, the kids come and they go. So I don't remember the specific time period, and I apologize for that.
See you tomorrow, big player. I appreciate you for being around here, though. Thank you.
Did your children ever stay with you at the Yerty condo?
Like maybe a night. Like for a girls' night or something, but live with, no.
Okay. Did anyone else stay with you at the Yerty condo, including Miss Yerty?
Yeah, Miss Yurdi never lived in the condo. She met her husband, and they moved. They weren't quite married, but they moved. Nobody ever lived with me in the condo. That was
My word was stayed, not lived. Stayed with you at the condo.
I guess I don't understand the distinction, but no one ever. I think my baby's my oldest child. I think she spent one night with me, maybe my oldest and my youngest. But I think that whole time I was in that place, other than that one night, I don't think anyone ever, it was a very lonely period in my time. Like, I don't think anyone ever spent the night other than maybe one night. I remember a picture of my baby sitting on the couch in that place, and I'm thinking she spent that night.
Oh, my God.
But just a very lonely time in life.
Okay. We'll stay with the lonely theme just for a minute.
Lonely.
Did Nathan Wade visit you at the Yerty condo from the time you moved in until he was hired on November the 1st of 2021?
So I moved out of that condo, but during that time period, I'm sure he came to visit. I can remember us going, I think the restaurants usually split. I can remember picking me up, going to Lickety Split and ordering some food, and coming and sitting at my table and eating. So
He said Willie's so frustrated he read my statement wrong. He read it saying I was frustrated. I was talking about him. Oh, you talking about me? Yeah, I'm frustrated as hell. Bitch, I'm ready to quit.
I remember.
I promise you I'm ready to quit.
That he visited me at that condo.
Oh.
Could you give us an approximation of how many times Mr. Wade visited you at the condo between the time you moved in and prior to November 1 of 2020?
I don't think often, but I don't want to speculate.
Can we say more than 5, more than 10?
I'm going to tell you the problem I'm having here. Let's say more than 10, but I'm not sure that that's even accurate. He certainly has come and picked me up, wanted to grab some food to eat. I don't
Shout out to Calvin for the $2 super chat. He say this itch is lying.
remember him being in that condo a lot.
Jesus.
Okay, That's your.
I'm sorry. You want a number, and I don't want
You're giving me your current and best recollection is all I'm asking for.
That's all I can give you, sir.
How many times did any of the prosecution team, how many times did Anna Cross come to that condo between the time you moved in and November 1st of 2021?
I don't think Anna's ever been to that condo.
What about any other prosecutor that's involved in the prosecution of this case?
I don't think any of them have.
Just Mr. Wade.
That's correct, sir.
But it was a lonely time.
Oh my God, that 2021, I have a lot of guilt about this time period in my life. Let me tell you why. But yes, it was a lonely time.
Okay.
I was very appreciative to the citizens for giving me this responsibility and this duty. But what I very, very quickly learned is that this is a very isolating job, and 2021 was a lonely time. I turned 50 in 2021.
Oh, she
It's
50.
probably one of the worst birthdays I've ever had. I spent it alone. So I have a clear recollection of 2021 being long.
Oh, so she's about 52, 53 then.
Did Mr. Wade ever come visit you at the condo, in the time period I'm talking about, prior to November of 2021, when Ms. Yerty was at the condo?
So Miss
53.
Yurdy and me, we didn't share the condo at the same time.
So the answer would be no.
But we never stayed there together, so it's an impossibility.
So then the answer is no.
Impossibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Miss Yurdy, because we need to get clarification on this. Miss Yurdy
Oh, she looked great for 50.
stayed in that place. There may have been a time that me and Mr. Wade visited, like went and saw Miss Yurdy, but me and Miss Yurdy never lived there together.
Say strong, independent, lonely black woman.
Just so we're clear.
Well, maybe that was clear, but I'm going to have to try again.
Okay.
Was Miss Yerty still living in the condo when you moved in?
Not a day.
Okay. So what
That
I'm
was a
talking,
misrepresentation in this. We never lived together. I never lived with Miss Yurdy.
my question though, I'm trying to understand,
Okay.
that after you moved in to the condo, Miss Yerty she was out of the condo, right?
She got a house.
That's all I'm asking, she's not in the condo.
She is, we never
No,
stayed,
she's not there.
Miss Yurty and I never stayed a day together in the condo.
Okay.
All of her stuff was out of the condo, and all my stuff, some of my stuff, not all of it obviously, was moved into the condo. So we never stayed there together. No, sir.
Right. So when I asked you about Mr. Wade visiting the condo, when
Yes.
you were staying there,
Yes,
Miss Yerty wasn't staying there, correct?
that would be correct, yes.
She wouldn't be at the condo, correct?
No, she would not have been.
It would be you and Mr. Wade alone at the condo, correct?
Yes,
That is, there weren't any other witnesses to Mr. Wade and you at the condo, correct?
Yes.
yes.
No security, none of your security
I
detail.
would object. She said it was just her and Mr. Wade.
You made your point, Mr. Sadow.
Made your
Let's
point.
move on to the next one.
Mr. Honor. Who in the prosecution team, prior to, I guess, the motion being filed by defendant Roman, who in the prosecution team knew of your personal relationship, and now I'm talking romantic, with Mr. Wade?
Romantic.
So, sir, I am extremely private.
All I ask you is who knew.
Who
It's not-
knew?
If the answer is no one knew, that's fine.
No,
See, boy, men is so sharp.
I ask you who knew.
Who knew?
Let me just tell
Answer it
you,
and then explain this to us.
Thank you.
I am very private. When I supervised Mr. Body and Mr. McAfee, they didn't know who I was dating, but I can assure you.
Answer and then explain. The judge just told her that, and she did not even follow the judge orders.
I was dating somebody. So that I kept something private, that's my private life, is not any mystery to anyone. It's like a woman doesn't have the right to keep her private life private. And I'm
Woman, you went with the gender thing?
speaking on this because there have been all these intimations.
You still haven't answered the question, Ms. Willis.
Thank you. The judge say you still ain't answered the question. She just pulled the woman card.
I'm sorry, what was the question, Your Honor?
Is there anyone else who knew about it? And then you can explain.
I don't know. I don't think so. I certainly didn't go out telling my business to the world.
So, the best of
And the
your
answer is no.
recollection, you didn't inform anyone on the prosecution team that the individual that you had chosen to lead the prosecution team had a personal relationship with you.
So
Is that correct?
That's inaccurate. Your question is inaccurate.
What?
Because you stated that the person I chose, we had a personal relationship. So we had a friendship. We have all these distinguishing factors. Remember, when I chose him in November of 21, first of all, let's get this straight. Mr. Wade was not actually my first choice. That's no insult to him. Because of
He didn't ask you that.
the way you phrased the question, you said, when I chose him, I didn't inform people of a personal relationship. We have defined personal as romantic. It is an inaccurate way to state the question.
And I will certainly restate it so it is very accurate.
Okay.
Thank you. Shout out to Mr. Gino for the $2 super chat. He said this baby will overtalk a BJ. Ooh.
And please do not yell at me.
Oh. Also, she went back to the yelling. Why? Because he is not going to sit back like the woman did and just try her best just to let you ramble. He ain't on it. She ain't ask you that. Don't yell at me. She do not like to be talked stern to by a man.
You hired Mr. Wade the first time on November 1st of 2021, correct?
November of 2021, yes, sir.
Your testimony is, whether one accepts it or not, your testimony is that at the time you hired Mr. Wade, there had never been a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade before you hired him, correct?
Yes, my testimony is that we were very good friends, but we're talking about sex, so let's just don't.
No, I'm not talking about, I'm saying romantic relationship doesn't necessarily have to be just sex. It can be dating, it can be holding hands, it can be any of those things that one might call romantic. I'm asking you whether or not prior to November 1st of 2021, there was a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade.
Yes,
It's very simple. It's either yes or no.
I don't consider my relationship with him to be romantic before that. I'm not a hand holder, so no.
That's fine. Now, let's move beyond November 1st of 2020.
Yeah.
2021, excuse me. I understand your testimony. There was no romantic relationship with Mr. Wade until early in 2022, whether it be January or February or March, early in 2022, correct?
She said April.
Sometime between February and April.
February
Yes,
and
sir.
April.
All right.
Okay, 2022.
Now I'm asking you about that time period when it became romantic,
Yes,
okay?
thank you.
You didn't see the need, if I understand, to tell any of the people on the prosecution team when you had established a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade that the lead prosecutor, that is the man that was basically giving orders to others, was dating or having a romantic relationship with you, correct?
I'm going to object to relevance at this point, Your Honor. Not relevant.
You say hunting is not romance.
It's just to prove or attempting to show that there is an issue on credibility about the relationship. The failure to have informed anyone on her team that she was having a romantic relationship with the lead prosecutor, I suggest gives rise to that inference. That's the relevance.
The inference that
that they were concealing this because it was not as it's been characterized in the court, and that in fact it started earlier than what they say.
all right, overall, let's say
I just want to make sure that we're clear. From at least 2020, me and Mr. Wade were friends. At least that time period.
Okay, I'm not talking
Okay,
about
so I want to be clear because my credibility is being evaluated here, right? We were friends. We hung out prior to November of 2021. In November of 2021, I hired him. I do not consider our relationship to have become romantic until early of 2022. Because I don't know what date and time, I'm saying sometime between February and April of 2022. And very early April of 2022, because I know that trip that I discussed with you was like the first week of 2022, that the relationship had become romantic. I hope that answered your question. But I can't have it where, we're saying something different.
All right, so you established the timeline as you put it. The question originally was, at that time, did you tell any other prosecutors?
I never tell people at work who I'm dating.
All right.
So that just means no.
Mr. Salem.
Okay. Did you take any trips to D.C. with Mr. Wade?
Uh-oh.
Never.
Never?
Did you take, okay, so you have no, what I would call personal trips or business trips to D.C. with Mr. Wade?
Never
No.
went to D.C. with Mr. Wade, personal, business, otherwise, never.
Okay, so,
I've never been in the District of Columbia with Mr. Wade, or Maryland, Virginia, the DMV as they call it.
so as I understand it, to be clear, any trips that you would have taken to see D.C.
That was
would not,
a pretty clear answer.
Clear
That
answer?
was a pretty clear answer.
Yep.
Asked the answer
She just said no.
twice.
That's yes. Yes, he said no twice. Simple.
So you have a variation or something new to bring up?
I'll ask it and we'll see. Did you take trips to D.C. that were non-business during the time period that this case or this matter was under investigation?
I'm going to object as to relevance as it relates to the matter that we're here before Your Honor.
Well, again, the question already asked was, did you take personal or business trips? And she said,
But that was with Mr. Wade. That was with Mr. Wade. This I asked her alone whether she took.
okay.
What's the
What
relevance?
would be the relevance of that?
I'm trying to understand whether or not we have an ability to show a personal trip in which Mr. Wade is there at the same time. I understand her answer, okay? I
Oh, I see
understand her
what you're
answer, but we have documents, we have records
Your
there.
Honor, I'm going to object to the documents of things that.
Well, this could be something that's maybe not part of the record yet, because I think there have been other things discussed in this case, and they've evidence that Mr. Wade may have been in D.C. at the same time. If you want to ask about that exact specific date, Mr. Salem, you can do that.
I would just reference to the court that that was not asked of Mr. Wade. Anything about any trips to D.C.
Sure. And so that's going to limit its merit and impact on credibility. So, Mr. Salem, ask the question.
Whether, I understand your testimony is you never took a trip to D.C. with Mr. Wade.
That's correct.
Personal or business.
That's correct.
Were you ever in D.C. at the same time as Mr. Wade
I was not.
on personal or business?
No, me and Mr. Wade have not been to DC at the same time. However,
See?
since Mr. Wade has been on this case,
Uh-oh.
he's in DC. Since Mr. Wade has been on to this case, I've been to DC. What has not happened is we have not been in the District of Columbia at the same time. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about with what you asked me is if I've been to DC personally. I've had a lot of personal
She said personal or business. That's what he asked you.
friends in that area, but I know that I have been to DC. I did an interview at Howard University. I went to DC for that. Seems like I've been to DC one other time. Oh, I went to DC for the Global Summit. Actually, yeah, those were two separate trips.
Was y'all there at the same time?
My next question is based on her opening the door, and therefore I'll just ask it and Your Honor can decide whether or not it's appropriate. When you went to D.C., did you go to the White House?
Object.
I did not go to the White House.
No, well,
Apparently I'm going to get the answer anyhow.
there you have it. Next question.
Okay. You indicated your best recollection was that your relationship with Mr. Wade, the romantic relationship, ended, you left it in August of 2023. That sound right?
That's a hard conversation. That's not that.
We've covered this. Next question.
And you characterized it as a tough conversation, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to get into the conversation per
We
se.
should.
You said we should. Oh, so she getting sassy now.
Well, if he doesn't want to, we won't go there. So, Mr. Salem.
You know, it's kind of hard to say no when you've got that opportunity. All I'm going to say is it wasn't pre-indictment in this case.
So,
We know the timeline. The indictment was delivered.
and so that it was clear, the physical relationship ended pre-indictment.
And is that when you were talking about the tough conversation?
But
Was-
I'm not sure that the tough conversation didn't happen until after, but the physical relationship, so I'm sure if you ask Mr. Wade, because he's a male, he would say we ended June or July, because physical contact ended then. Just in my mind, being a woman, it's over when you have that, like, hard conversation. I just think
that closure.
women and men think differently.
And I think the answer, Mr. State, on your question was she's not sure whether it was before or after that.
Well, I'm not sure that was her answer, but let's see if I can get specific.
That is what I said. That's what I said.
I'll let you do next question.
Going with she makes it so difficult because she just won't answer the question. She got to add some shit on every answer. Well, not every, but most.
I want to say one more. The romantic relationship ended before the indictment was returned. Yes or no?
To a man, yes.
To a man, yes. To you, no.
She's explaining this. She's explaining this.
And did the forthcoming indictment have anything to do with that? Or was it just a coincidence?
Mister, let's go on and have a conversation.
I've just asked you whether or not it was a
It had
coincidence.
absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was
This is why she can't keep a man, but go ahead.
tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
Oh, then you need to be with your daddy. Huh?
Is there anything else you would like to add to that?
No?
Sure.
I'm sure we'll talk about it further.
Oh. So they had to have arguments that I am your equal, and you still not his equal. You would never be a man's equal. Somebody need to tell y'all women that you would never be a man's equal.
We're not going to talk about it further.
All right, no back and forth. Let's say that. Next question.
My next question is something that that has to do with.
She had to show us that she's a strong, black, independent woman. Yes, she did.
What I've characterized as the church speech. Let me just tell you what the question is, because I know that's not something.
Reserved for the record.
Huh?
You can reserve the question for the record, but then we'll move on.
That's correct. Thank you. When you gave what I've referred to as the Martin Luther King weekend church speech, you know what I'm referring to?
A great honor of mine as a historic African-American church. Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you have handwritten notes with you that you were reading from during the speech?
Yes.
And on second thought, Mr. Sadov, because you might have a number of questions about this, why don't we just bullet point what you would want to cover on this, reserved for the record, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
Okay.
Say she an alpha woman,
I had laid out before that forensic misconduct is
and that's what keep your ass single and lonely.
Otherwise, you're not getting an answer for that? That's right. Okay. Did you read your speech?
well, no, Mr. Sadov, for everything related to any forensic.
Oh, you just want to stay out of it now?
We're just not. We can do it in a bullet form if you just want to cover what you would have asked. But
He say she keeps on using her dad like a safeguard. Yeah, like your dad is almost dead, baby. He 80.
it's not in a question and answer format.
Okay, so I should do that at this point or do it when you're ready?
We can do it right now. So
I'm going to ask her about, did she prepare the speech? Did she have notes on the speech? Did she read the speech? When did she do this? When did she write the speech? Who was she referring to when she was talking about others? Who was she referring to when she said they? Who she was referring to when she spoke in terms of their, that is,
I would love to answer those questions.
well, Ms. Willis, you can certainly do that in some other format. But for today, that's what we decided we're not going to cover.
who was she
Not gonna cover it today, baby.
talking about that was playing the race card, and why she didn't tell people at the church that she had had a personal / romantic relationship with the, all due respect, the way it was characterized, the black man that she was referring to, and was the black man she referring to, was that Mr. Wade?
Why didn't she tell the congregation that she had a relationship with that black man? Ooh.
That's that area of inquiry.
Noted for the record, Mr. Sadov.
That's what he was gonna ask her. Damn, they should have went on ahead and let it go down like that right there. Dog, you folk, y'all gotta ask yourself. Because we did cover it. She came out and said all that fly shit to y'all. And like I had done told y'all, by her doing that, that just let me know that she was guilty of something.
Next topic.
Okay. I realize that you testified that you have no records that with regard to cash payments,
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
Would your bank records reflect that you withdrew cash from your bank accounts during the time period of 2020, 2021, 2022, or 2023? I'm not asking you, I'm just asking whether they would reflect that you withdrew cash from any of your bank accounts.
For what though? That's a real broad question right there.
So the exact amounts?
No.
Yeah,
That you did.
Of course, I withdrew money throughout that time period, throughout my life. I withdraw money from the bank, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Talking about cash from, that is, that you go to a
Yeah.
bank or you go to an ATM
Okay.
and you take cash out.
I think everybody has went to the teller in the past 3-4 years and took some money out. Now that's simple.
Either that way, or you go to Publix and you overpay, or
Yep.
you go to another store and you overpay. So yes, both through that, yes,
Yeah.
of course they will reflect that at times.
Okay. And so those records, if we had them, would show that, correct?
That throughout the course of my life, I took
No,
out
no,
money.
I was very specific. I said
Yes, during the course of
2020.
that time period, I would have taken money out, yes.
Yeah, that's
So,
simple.
Do you
That's right.
have a problem with
I
with those?
Yes.
You don't want the bank records to be made available for the court and the court
I'm
alone?
gonna object as to the relevance and
I'm gonna object to that right there too, bitch. I should not have to show you my damn bank accounts now. Hold on, pimp. You say no, Willie? It shows a paper trail. Yeah. I am understanding the line in the question. I do get that right there, but it's just a question in itself because the question was broad. Have you taken money out of the bank? Yeah, like who haven't done that? I don't know.
already been addressed earlier as it relates to other records. This is an improper line of questioning. He's doing it for the purpose of harassment, frankly, Your Honor.
You say you're trying to get them to subpoena her bank records. I am surprised that they didn't already subpoena the bank records before she had to come and testify because most of this is about money. So I'm surprised that they don't already have her bank transactions.
I'm just going to sustain it on relevance. Mr. Sadoff, that's something you want to...
Like this shit already did that. It's crazy.
You can do that.
Last area, briefly.
Yes, sir.
You had contact with Mr. Wade in the year 2020, correct?
Yes.
I had some contact.
Yeah, because y'all met in
Would
2020.
you explain when you say some contact? Please tell us, talk about 2020.
She said that they were friends and they met in 2020. I remember that.
I had some contact with Mr. Wade in 2020. One of the reasons your allegations are so preposterous or mismerchants that you have joined is...
Ma'am,
No,
I didn't
no,
ask you about the allegations, I asked you about your contact. That's all I ask you, okay? I appreciate that you want to say something, but I'm interested in, did you have contacts with Mr. Wade in 2020? And your answer so far has been yes, correct?
very limited contact because Mr. Wade had a form of cancer that makes your allegations somewhat ridiculous.
Remember earlier she said that she didn't want to speak on his type of health thing? And I said, well, damn it, you just told us that he had a health issue. Now she just spoke on his health thing, telling all of us, telling the public that he had cancer. Wow, that's what happens when you just don't answer damn questions. Like I said, talking too much. Talking too much, you will tell some shit that they ain't even asked. And it can come back and bite you in the ass. He said they already got an IRS records. He said they know about the tax liens. There you go. But they may not have, well, they don't have the banking records.
And I do appreciate the
I'm not going
characterization.
to emasculate a black man, but I'm just
You're not going to emasculate, but you just told the world his medical history. Unless he said it, you just told the world his medical history.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not going to emasculate a black man. Did you understand that? So I don't think we should discuss further.
Mr. Sedale, next question.
Trying to, Your Honor. Would you tell us on the occasions in 2020 that you had contact with Mr. Wade?
I'm sorry, I thought I had answered that. Yes, sir, there were times.
You went to talking about his cancer and shit. You brought up his cancer when that wasn't even asked about.
In 2020, I had contact, but 2020 was the year I was running for office. It was a year that he was going through some serious medical issues, and I did not have much contact, but I...
So now it's serious medical issue when you just told us that it's cancer. You don't have to keep using now the medical issues. You said that in the beginning, which let us know he had a medical issue.
Certainly had contact with him in 2020.
Did you go out to eat with him?
Maybe, probably.
Did you visit him in any location, his office, or did he visit you in your office in 2020?
I am sure he... I'm sure... Ooh, that's a very
Say, imagine dealing with cancer and her sassy mouth.
good question.
And that's probably why he is getting a divorce now, because maybe his wife had the same type of mouth.
I'm sure he came to 750 in 2020.
750 is,
Was my office.
okay.
Not often, but maybe once or twice. Maybe I went to his office once or twice, but maybe once.
And the purpose for going to his office would have been what?
Maybe we would have went to Mellow Mushrooms for pizza, or maybe he would have come for lunch. I'm sure we went by each other's office though, but not often, not a lot. We both grinded, trying to make a
But
living.
wait, I understand what you said about the cancer, and I'm not going into that. But when you were going out with him to restaurants, or when he would come to your office, right? Those were not sterile environments, were they?
Oh, very sterile, because it
The
was,
restaurants were sterile environments?
a lot of times we wouldn't eat there. We would pick up something and go in, but they were...
Oh, you say his wife had done cheated back in 2015. Yeah, oh, all right, my bad.
I'm listening to you. You pick up and take it to where?
maybe eat at our office, but it did not happen much. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. And my office in 2020, nobody was coming in. I was stir crazy, so I would still go into my office. You remember when I started this, I said, I'm not even sure if we came to each other's offices, but I am trying to be over cautious. So I think I can recall him at 750 a couple of times.
You say his meat didn't work, so he lost a little la-la. Or maybe that's possibly why she cheated. If it depends. If he had cancer then, that's probably why she cheated, because he probably couldn't function properly. You know, he was going through a little something. Maybe. Now, if the cancer came after that, then she a cheater.
I just think I can recall him at 750 once, but let's say twice. I have seen his office. I remember all the awards in the lobby, but I'm not sure in 2020 I went. I'm not even sure I went in 2020 at all. I just want to tell you yes, because I'm not sure.
Listen, I don't know how much longer. Well, listen, we ain't going past 11 o'clock. I don't know if this shit gonna be over by the end or not, but we not going past 11 o'clock. Nope.
But I have a distinct recollection of him at 750. I actually don't have a distinct recollection of me at his office in 2020. But maybe I went to his office in 2020. Maybe.
Did you have ongoing phone conversations during 2020 with Mr. Wade?
Oh yeah, I talked to him. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I talk to him a lot now.
Yes,
Yes. No question about that.
no question. I talked to him on the phone in 2020.
I
He
understand.
stayed with his wife until the kids finished school. Oh, okay. Smart man.
This is
Yeah. It was best for them to finish school before he put in for the divorce. Go ahead.
maybe I was confused. The Belize trip was for
His 50th birthday.
his 50th birthday, and that was in
March. He turned 50 March 18, 2023. If you look at the dates of the trip, I think we were there about 6 days. Stayed at 2 different locations.
23.
and you paid for it.
100%. He said, not only, I mean, I paid for the hotel, I paid for the flights, I had a birthday luncheon for him, I paid for massages, I paid for everything.
And with those
I pay for everything. I'm a boss bitch. Yeah. Sure enough, feel.
be reflected on your
I paid
credit
for
card?
the cabs.
You paid them in cash?
Cabs. I'm telling you all the different things.
And I'm asking you whether or not those payments would be reflected on credit card bills of yours.
So then there's about $500 that I think is reflected on a debit card. Well, my recollection is I took about 4 in cash with me.
400 or 4,000?
4,000. But I remember I handed him 2,500, and then the rest was just the money we spent. I probably gave $300 or $400 to this guy who was a taxi driver. He would drive us every day around.
She said, "Well, her girlfriends know she talk too much. They don't tell her nothing."
The 2 or 3 days we went, took him to eat like it was my trip money.
And you had, to be clear to end this up, the 4,000 that you just told
But I
us.
didn't give it all to him. Remember, I only gave the 2,500 to him.
I didn't ask you that. I was going to ask you that 4,000 is
There it is. I'm so glad he keep telling it. I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you that. She talked too much.
part of your, my words, cash hoard that you had collected over time.
Cash what?
Hoard, H-O-R-D-E.
Oh, I thought you said something different, sir.
He thought she said whore. Cash whore.
I'm afraid I wouldn't say that under any circumstances to you or in
All right, back on track.
So hoard, cash hoard then.
Hoard, not hoe. Not whore. It's a hoard.
Do not classify it in that way, but I have money at my house, yes, sir.
Okay. And the money, when you had money at your house,
But I'm speaking too loosely. I had money wherever I was staying. So I was not referring to my house in 750. I'm saying I had money wherever I was laying my head. Yes, sir. That was my fault. That I wasn't clear.
so when you were at what we said the Yerty condo, during the time period we've always discussed, that's where you would keep your cash.
When I say there, yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. I think that's
See
it.
if we can get through a few more defense counsel if possible before break for today. Mr. Stockton.
I guess we got a little bit more. Then we're going to break. Oh, we got somebody else.
Madam District Attorney, I'm Alan Stockton. I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Madam DA, you described these various trips, and Mr. Sadow asked you about going to Washington. Did you and Mr. Wade go to New York?
I've gone to New York. I've gone to New York twice since I've been district attorney. I'm trying to think, it was 2 or 3 times. I went to do a domestic violence thing there for sure, and I was honored that I went to the Apollo there. Those are the only 2 trips that come to mind. I went. He was not with me.
You also said that he was a world traveler and had been on many of the continents.
And the 6.
Have you been on any of those continents with him? Besides this one?
Where's Belize? What continent is it? I'm not being funny, I don't know.
Let's say
South
with
America?
I've been to Belize with him. I've been to the Bahamas with him. I've been with Aruba with him. Don't embarrass me. I'm not sure what continents those are on. Whatever continents those are.
She has a degree. But I feel it, though, because we don't know everything just because we have a degree. You say, Willie, women of her status don't carry cash. She said, my wife keeps $25 on hand at any given moment. Too much cash on hand makes her a target. You right about that right there. But I like that she said that she keeps money at the crib, though. She keep throwing out wherever I lay my head at, so that puts in a lot of our minds that she keep that money on her person. You know what I'm saying? But she keeps money where she live at. Where she live at, and her daddy would be mad because he told her to keep money, keep 6 months worth of money on hand, which is supposed to be at the crib, though. You know what I'm saying? But you is about right. Women don't keep money like that, and this is why I even said it earlier. We need to all keep some money on us, at least $100. You should at least have $100 on you at all time, in the back of your wallet, deep down inside your purse, just in case. We never know what's gonna happen.
That's what I've been. I'm sure if I gave it some thought, I would tell you. But whatever continents those are that I've been to.
Because I don't know what continents those is either, baby, and I ain't got no damn, but she got one. Don't even worry about it. Go ahead.
Those locations, so
But not Australia or any other continents.
I don't even want to go to Australia. I do know he took a
Me
trip
either.
in December to Australia.
He telling all his
I
business.
have no idea. You know, I don't know anything about that trip.
He telling all his business, and she don't know what he testified. She did not hear his testimony because his testimony was before hers, and she just volunteering shit. This is the type of chicks you don't need in your life, y'all. I'm trying to tell you something.
When Mr. Wade began working with your office,
Yes,
he had two other gentlemen that worked in his firm with him, is that correct?
yes. Terrence Bradley worked for him, and Chris Campbell worked not for him. They worked with each other.
Did you understand what their partnership arrangement was?
He say, Willie, that's why she got a husband and the phone. That's what's up.
No,
Did he ever make you aware of how fees were divided or anything?
no.
Now, since you have been district attorney, the two gentlemen that worked with Mr. Wade and his firm, they also had contracts with your office, is that correct?
I probably
Yeah,
had
that's,
two.
you know, the,
I don't.
Well, I don't know if apparently said it's Willis, but I still don't know what the relevance would be of her testimony to this.
But I've had about 10 people. Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to answer
Let's figure this
that?
out.
Judge, respectfully, I think based on Mr. Wade's testimony, he had an interest in those contracts.
Sure. And then, but how's that been imputed to Miss Willis?
I don't know whether or not she knew she was giving him that benefit. That's what I was trying to explore.
Okay.
You say, Willie, don't ask me no more questions. I won't tell you no more lies.
Well,
That's
then
what's
we can
up.
start with that question, and then if she doesn't know about it, then the ins and outs of all the contracts wouldn't be quite as relevant.
Just to lay a foundation for that, though, respectfully, I need to.
Go ahead.
Let's see where it takes us. Go ahead.
The two gentlemen that were in Mr. Wade's office, did they have what I think's been referred to as a taint contract?
So let me be clear. No, I mean,
You say she would listen to Willie, trust and believe, because she did say that she was in her office. And then she heard people say, he's finished testifying. Hell yeah, she was watching shit on YouTube. Go ahead.
the name's wrong. When I first became DA, the office was not properly staffed. And so I'm surprised any lawyer would take it, but I did a contract for like $60 an hour and help us out with first appearance. That lasted a few months, okay? So I can't remember if Bradley or Campbell had that. I'm sure we can have records and I can tell you which one, but I just can't remember now. I like their experience. Bradley had been a probation officer and a defense attorney. Campbell had been a police officer and a defense attorney. There's a reason I'm telling you this. Then that contract, like I said, it didn't last long. It was just I was aggressively hiring. As soon as I got where I felt like I had first appearance, enough lawyers for that, I let them go. Then we had what's called a filter contract, but it was not filtered for this particular case. I do have a lawyer who does the filter for this election interference case. When we're talking about filter the contract they had, that neither one of them has any longer, I now have another lawyer that does that for me. It was only for police brutality cases. It's for what I call so when I first got to be the DA, I had, the whole unit was called anti-corruption. It dealt with both elections and police brutality cases. I actually took a trip to Houston and visited the district attorney in Houston. They divided their work up, and I thought the way she was doing it was better than me. And so I made a civil rights unit. And so they did what we would classify as civil rights cases. Those are specifically the police brutality cases. When I first took over, I was told Paul had not filtered 5 cases.
I don't even know what the hell she talking about right now because she just been talking. I honestly don't know what she's talking about. But we have 296 thumbs up. Can we get over 300? I really would appreciate that right now. You say, I'm starting to wonder why I'm even watching this. It must be because it's on Willie. That's what's up. Say, Fani needs some water. Get that baby a water break.
That was a joke. It ended up being the 101 cases. They weren't filtered, which is why I hired 2 of them. Eventually, we got it down enough that it was one of them. And then Now I still have one lawyer that does it, but now I've been able to cut those cases down to like 30.
Can you tell me and help me understand what the purpose of the filter is?
Yes, sir. So what a filter is police officers make statements in the line of duty, and you are not allowed as the prosecutor to know what those statements are if they're done in the furtherance of their employment. And in fact, if you know what those statements are, you're basically disqualified from the case. You can't have it anymore. So what our policy is, I think I pay them like a $50 flat fee. They pick the case up directly from the GBI, because that's where those cases go to. And then what they are to do is to go through the entire file. So the body cam, which is important because sometimes they'll make a statement to their supervisor on body cam, and the police reports where they write things. It would be easy if it was just some statement of the police officer, but what you find out is these statements are embedded in it. And so what your filter lawyer does is they go through it, they either redact it out electronically or they cross it out, and then once it is crossed out, then they provide it to my team, and then we're able to look at it.
Say she talking her sleep.
That was not really done appropriately when I became district attorney. I thought that it had only been, so Mr. Howard had some Chinese wall thing that I didn't think worked at all, where allegedly those cases were properly redacted. That ended up being a joke. And so the 5 cases really turned into, I'm not going to say all 101, but a vast majority. That is the work that Mr. Bradley and Mr. Campbell did for me. They did a really good job.
You say the court reporter's fingers cramping like a mofo, for real though.
All of those cases that originally came with, they're done. Those cases they're not just done for Mr. Bradley and Mr. Campbell, they're done through my office. But obviously life is not stagnant. There have been new police cases. I do have a lawyer that is doing that work now. That doesn't work for me. That's same kind of deal. I have another lawyer that does filtering for this case, completely separate.
So in the same private office, you had a filter contract, then you had somebody else handling first appearances and so forth, and then you had a special prosecutor. Is that correct?
I'm just not. Ultimately, the answer to your question is yes, but I'm not sure that they did it at the same time.
Oh, she getting better. She answering first and then answer. Oh, okay, go
The
ahead.
first appearance contract was either $60 or $90. I don't know really how I convinced them to be able to take that, but I think because it was for such a short amount of time. And then I think I paid my filter lawyers, which I still don't know how you're doing, with about $150 an hour. And I want you to understand, the AG pays special prosecutors $1,000 an hour. So I'm a tough negotiator. Paul was paying people up to $375 an hour.
So you just telling on people. Go ahead though. He said, damn, this woman can talk. He said, my ears hurt. Now listen. I guess you got to know how to talk like this to be a lawyer, a judge, and a DA. I guess you have to.
Anyone more than $250 is my max. I have a lot of lawyers a lot for what I have that work at $250, and I cap them every month. You can't go past a certain amount of hours.
Would you agree that if Mr. Wade and the 2 other gentlemen that were in his firm were splitting fees in equal thirds, would you agree that he would benefit from the tank contract and also from the other first appearance contract?
Say yes.
I would agree he would make money, and yet so
Yes.
to make money is a benefit.
Just a thought, guy.
Mr. Jerem, you're still with us on Zoom.
No question, John.
Mr. McDougall.
I do have a couple, Your Honor, but it's a little awkward from back here. If you want to.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make your way out.
Oh, they got somebody on Zoom waiting? Say, damn, Willie, we can do this and say, sign us up, say I'll be your co-counsel. That's what's up. Look at what the hell going on. They got a whole bunch of attorneys and shit. They got a whole bunch of lawyers there. Attorneys, lawyers, some passed the bar, some didn't. I guess. Another
I'm
one?
very well. How are you, Mr. McDougall? I think this is our first in-person meeting, correct? Second? Well, I apologize for not remembering.
We got 19 minutes left and we out of
Be
here.
more clear.
That's quite all right.
This is not over in 19 minutes, but this over for us in 19 minutes. I'm done.
I'm referring now to exhibit number 21.
Yes, sir.
which was your financial disclosure form for 2022.
Yes, sir.
And it has a question which requires you to disclose any gifts or favors from a single prohibited source in the aggregate amount of $100 or more. Do you see that?
I don't, but I believe you.
It would be on page 2 in the middle, paragraph number 3.
Yes.
And what is your understanding of a prohibited source for purposes of this form?
I believe there's some classification. Somebody you like don't have a personal relationship with that gives you $100.
All right, if you look under there, it's subparagraph 2, Romanet 2. It defines it as someone that you know or should know is seeking to do or is doing business with the county, correct?
Yes, but yes.
That includes Mr. Wade as of the date you filled out this form, correct?
Yes, but he never gave me a gift of $100 or more. The only thing that I would say maybe went over that, but I don't think it ever did, is if we went to dinner and my meal was $100, but I don't think I've ever eaten $100 worth of food at a restaurant, because I would not pay him back if we went to lunch or went to dinner.
You see how she giving too much? He ain't even ask all that. You say her story longer than Rachel Dolezal's ass crack.
Trips I paid him back for. You know, I never thought about the money until y'all brought it up. And I would be less than honest. It says I was giving him the money back because I was the district attorney.
Y'all do know he didn't ask her about this part.
I didn't take gifts from him for a lot of personal reasons. Anyway, I did not take gifts from him.
And so your reason for not disclosing any gifts from Mr. Wade on exhibit number 21 is that the aggregate amount on a net basis was less than $100 in the year 2022. Is that correct?
I did not accept a gift of him of more than $100 in 2022. The one exception to that, because I want us to be clear, is we probably went out to eat multiple times in a year. If you're considering eating a meal, you know, because we went out multiple times, that probably went to the level of more than $100. But if we're doing tit for tat like that, I probably paid for as many meals as he paid for. And so I did not receive any gifts from him.
Ooh, y'all have made it over 300. Appreciate that right there, y'all. If you're just not joining the player, we streaming live on twitch.tv.com, The Willie Williams Show. Can you please go over there and join the player?
Question on the form.
I understand the
The
question.
aggregate in excess of $100, and your testimony is that you did not receive in aggregate more than $100.
All right, Mr. Gould, you can sit down now.
You can sit down now, pimp.
I don't believe she answered that question. She answered as to specific individual
I asked
gifts.
you to instruct counsel to
And
sit
you're
down
not
and stop.
listening to my answer either, so we're done.
Very well.
Okay.
Very well. You say people who have money usually split the cost or just go Dutch. There you go.
Mr. Rice, no further questions. Mr. Gillen.
What is it? You got some more? Well, y'all better ask a good question then, because we run out of time. Like he been a lawyer 40 years.
Good afternoon, sir.
A few questions here. I want to. You saw the book here, Find Me the Votes. That was shown you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would like to just tender this as an exhibit, number 22.
Is that your copy?
It is.
All right, what exhibit is that going to be?
22.
All right.
I'm making the
Is that?
evidentiary contribution here to this. Now,
You say all 18 of Trump defendants in the RICO charge can ask questions.
Well,
You said
so
the-
you're tendering it. Is it with petition of the state?
I'm going to object this to the relevance at this point. There's no relevance at this point.
He ain't asked nothing.
Mr. Gillen, are you using this to confront her with prior statements?
yes, Your Honor. And statements that she made concerning her concerning her financial situation and laying the foundation for that. And then she gave these interviews to the authors. And so this would document that and ask her, get this in the record, ask her questions about it.
You say he went to law school with Matt Law.
Well, we could mark it for impeachment purposes. I'm a little wary of entering an entire 300-page book because I don't know exactly what every single line, if it would pass hearsay or relevance or et cetera. But I don't think it needs to be devoted as an actual evidence for the record for you to do what you need to do with it. So,
Well, Your Honor, I understand. I just would,
it's marked
again,
as 22, and I'll let you, we'll move from there.
thank you, Your Honor. Now, you were asked a little bit about this book before, correct?
I think Mrs. Merchant
Ms. Merchant did.
asked me some questions, yes.
And you gave about 6 interviews to the authors of this book in a sit-down?
No, sir.
You didn't? Was it?
She answered how many interviews she gave in her opinion.
How many, in your opinion, do you believe you gave, and how
2
long
or
did
3,
they last?
3 or 4.
2 to 3, maybe 20, 30 minutes.
So your testimony is at most, you think that you gave maybe an hour to an hour and a half's interview to the authors of this book?
Oh, you mean in total?
In total, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Anywhere between, definitely not more than 2-ish hours.
Okay. But you also were telling, when they were, the title of the book, of course, is A Hard-Charging Georgia Prosecutor, a Rogue President, and a Plot to Steal an American Election.
Yes, Your Honor, and the relevance of the title.
Why is the title of the book relevant, sir?
And I
Well, I'm
had
just going to
no,
get in, I'm going to ask her whether or not that was the theme that they gave her when they talked with her.
Objection.
The thing gave her, what do you mean by that?
Well, because they were sat down, they told her why they were there to interview her.
And why does that matter?
Well, I think it matters because it shows, but they want her to give her version of what her life story is. This is almost a life story of her. So that's why it's relevant. But if the court thinks it's not, then...
No, it could be relevant to your issue of the forensic misconduct that has been alleged, and maybe some of the motives at play when it comes to forensic misconduct, but I'm not seeing, again, what we're here for today was the relationship and or any financial elements of it.
Correct.
They said, Willie, they asked a question, so when the Trump case starts, they have something to annoy her with.
Well,
Bam!
clearly relevant to the forensic misconduct, also relevant to personal interest in terms of the finances. Let me...
I didn't make 10 cents off that book.
Pardon me?
I didn't make 10 cents off that book.
Didn't ask whether you made any money.
Okay, I just,
Didn't
See,
ask
she be volunteering shit for no reason.
whether you made any money.
Yeah, the other statements that she hadn't already been confronted with by Ms. Merchant.
Well, other than, I want to focus on, when you were telling them about your financial straits and you were living kind of month to month, that is what your financial status was back in 2018 after your election,
Mr.
correct?
Brown, we covered that, Mike. If you're at the end of the line, I'm sorry about that, but we've got to find new ground.
Well, let me move on to my point here. So the point is that what you're telling us is that you were in financial straits, but really that your testimony today is you had a cash hoard of maybe up to $10,000 in cash where you laid your head at night so that you would dip out and there would be no record of it, correct?
Whoa. Because she said to her author that she was basically in financial strait because she said broke. She said, but that broke is relative, and she's right about that right there. You can be 100,000 there and lose 20,000. Bitch, I ain't got it. Bitch, I'm broke. You could be a 50,000 there and lose $3,000. Bitch, I'm broke. What are we talking about?
that's not what I'm telling you, sir. That's not at all what I'm telling you. What I'm telling
He
you
wrong for
is
that.
that
He wrong for
throughout
that.
the course of my life, I have always kept cash in my house. That cash has ranged from times, my father would probably be ashamed of this because he would say it should be more.
Yeah, you said that before
That
too.
cash at times has ranged from $500
$500 to $15,000.
to maybe $9,000.
But you said $15,000 the first time, but we ain't
He would
tripping.
be like, that is not what I told you to do.
That means you're hard headed. Go ahead though.
I've always had that amount of money. What I've told you is that when I travel, you do better negotiating when you travel. If you have cash, you go get the cab. They say, oh, we're going to charge you $300 for the day. Well, I got American cash. Will you take it for $150? And so it's my practice to take money when I travel. We're not talking about a whole lot of money. We're going to the Bahamas. $1,500 in cash is in my pocket, or at the most $2,500. Belize was actually probably the most money I've ever taken. And it was taken because it was a big deal. My 50th birthday sucked. His 50th birthday, it sucked. It was terrible. No.
Your Honor,
And
I'd
so
like to get back to some questions here.
I'm trying to answer
rather
it.
than
It
narrative.
would help if we.
So let's move to the
I just don't like what he just did right there.
specific yes
like
or
I really
no
don't.
here. Have you told us today that you
So basically, it is a crime to keep money in your house because the system can't track where you spend your damn money or what you spend your money on?
would keep a cash hoard in your residence up to about $9,000? Yes or no?
And throughout the course of my adult life, and so let's even be more specific than that. Probably from the time.
Your Honor, I'm only asking for yes or no rather than speak.
We have already covered this, so I.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying
I know you're laying the foundation, but it's already been laid. So
Yes.
The filibuster is here. I'm trying to move through the filibuster.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a lot of, and so it could be 2,000, it could be 1,500, it could be 7,500. It just depends on
We
how.
got people who have $1 million in their house, $1 million in their house, $2-3 million in their house. So is it just now illegal or just wrong that you have money in your damn house?
What you're doing at that time. What I'm telling you is when I traveled, I took cash. I find that when you travel, especially to foreign countries, the American dollar does well.
And that makes
it's good
sense.
to have cash. You can negotiate with
You will pay less when you have cash, and that's even in the United States. When you swipe your card, is an extra charge. Huh? Cash is king, but they don't want you to believe that.
taxi driver, with the jet skis, with the, and it's not a lot of money we're talking about.
Your Honor,
Okay,
we
understood
need
as well,
we
so
need
let's
to
get
cut
to-
off the.
let's get to a question, Mr. Gill.
And so you have cash in your house, but you had a lien, a tax lien on your property, is that right?
So you mean to tell me because she have $4,600 cash? Watch this. There's people with thousands of dollars inside their house and they have student loan debt. There's people with 100,000, 150 student loan debts, but they may keep them $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 inside the house for cash. Is he telling us because you have debt, you should have used the money inside your house to pay off that debt? But isn't in society telling you that it's good to keep some debt because of FICO scores?
I don't believe I had a tax lien on my
You
property.
didn't have a tax lien on your property?
You gotta talk about
Jackson,
this.
this is cumulative, Your Honor.
Okay, we already covered that, Mr. Gillen? I need to
But
carry on here.
I'm asking the question, I'm trying to figure out how someone can have a tax
Then
lien,
ask that question.
but not use the money that they allegedly said they have.
Well, he's trying to figure out how somebody have a tax lien but don't use the money that they have on hand to pay the tax lien. So you don't understand how people pay their bills? Just because people don't pay their damn bills when you want them to pay their bills don't mean that they ain't got their money. There's people with money who get late fees. The banks make a killing on late fees and all that fly shit, and people have the money. So what are we talking about?
I think Ms. Merchant asked that exact same question, since you didn't use the money to pay your taxes. So what's your question?
So I was going to build on that to say,
No more bills, it's already built.
all right,
It's the same way you pay a bill.
So just
It's
put a stop on it if you need to,
It's the
okay?
same way you owe a bill and go shopping.
well.
Yes.
Now, have you ever used, did you
She's
say
right on that.
earlier that you used Cash App?
When I would pay Robin Bryant, I used Cash App.
What is Cash App for the record?
I don't need to know that for the record. Let's keep going.
Well, so if you're paying Robin with Cash App, why aren't you allegedly paying Mr.
There's no
Wade?
budget here.
Why you can't pay people how you want to pay people now?
Why aren't you paying allegedly Mr. Wade with Cash App?
I don't think Mr. Wade does Cash App.
Did you ask him?
I think he's told me he doesn't do Cash App.
Okay, so that's the reason why you didn't use Cash App.
I would have said this. I pay people how I want to pay people.
He's sitting next to me. I hand him the money.
Because there would be a record in Cash App of your making payments, correct?
What?
Yes,
Sure.
but I didn't think that I was making a record in a personal relationship.
Because when you're filing your, and I know that I'm going to move into
Are we finna do taxes or something?
financial statement here. You were asked just a second ago about your non-disclosure form, or your disclosure form of an Exhibit 21, where we agree that Mr. Wade is a prohibited source, correct?
What I agree to is, I don't believe he's giving me gifts. You would like to classify these trips as gifts, but I've always paid my fair share on these trips, so I did not look at them as gifts. I don't think that what this is disclosing, and they can tell me if they mean something different, I don't think it means that if you go to dinner with somebody over the course of a year and it gets to 100, you're supposed to report it. If my understanding of that is wrong, I've probably been to lunches with a couple of people that over the course of a year they paid, I paid.
Prohibited source means.
We already went over this, Mr. Gillen. Mr. McDougal.
Well, Your Honor, I have to lay the foundation here before I can follow up with my next question.
I don't know why you can't be active.
Well,
It's already
okay,
questions been made.
then your 2022 disclosure form did not list any of the thousands and thousands of dollars that Mr. Wade paid for on trips that you were on.
Objection.
Isn't that
Asked and
correct?
answered cumulative.
That's because Mr. Wade was paid that money back, or he was paid due to the fact that I bought the plane ticket, or
Her attorney just objected and she just kept talking.
I paid for the hotel. There were never money that he gave me. But that wasn't the nature of our relationship. You know, there's so many men, and Mr. Wade is one of them, where the nature of the relationship is they're just paying a woman. The nature of our relationship is companionship and friendship. Despite the way people would like to paint certain women, it's just not true.
Final question. And not a single solitary documentary piece of evidence
Asked and answered, Your
showing
Honor.
that you have withdrawn the cash to pay
Last
back.
one.
Isn't that-
That's not accurate.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm glad it's over.
Mr.
It gotta be
Floyd,
over.
On behalf of Mr. Floyd. All
That's
right,
it.
Mr. Cromwell on behalf of Ms. Latham.
Great thing about the coming last is, I have one question, Ms. Willis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
In the time period between February of 2021 and January of 2022, while you were staying at the Yurdi condo, did your father ever come and visit you during that time period at the Yurdi condo?
He did not.
That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's it.
All right. Ms. Cross, I would imagine you have a number of topics to cover with Ms. Willis. It'll take more than 10 to 15 minutes.
I did.
Okay. Then I think we've reached a stopping point for today.
Yes.
And
Great.
so Ms. Willis, step down now. And I also remind you that you have to discuss your testimony or that
Thank you. Oh my God. We is done. Get yourself a pat on the back, boy. Y'all done made it here 3 hours to that bush. Listen. And no, I don't think that they are going to take her off of the Trump case. They ain't have enough right here to take her off the Trump case. She can't prove where the money came from. She can't prove that she paid him back and all that stuff. And listen, I want y'all to get it now. The system wants to know what you is doing with your money. The system want to know if your ass got $1,000, where did money come from? It's our work. Or where did money come from? But you don't work. So I can't just have some money on me without having a damn job. Is this what you tell it? And that is literally what they're trying to tell y'all. If we can't see the transactions, you have no proof of this money. And that's a problem. They want proof and proof and proof of every doggone thing. But the majority of us, we need to continue to go to the bank. If you can't do it once a week, twice a week, once a month, you better take you some money out. I'm trying to tell y'all something now. Take some doggone money out. Because if these people, the government can freeze your money. We've all watched movies. The government can freeze your money. The money that you work for. Your money. I want y'all to understand this. Your money, the money that you work for. They can put a pause on your shit. So if you do not believe that you need to take some money out, then if it happens to you, it needs to happen to you. You're supposed to be grown. We're supposed to be adults. You're supposed to know better by now. You really supposed to know better by now. Don't be no damn fool. Don't let these people fool you. Well, your money can't grow if it's not in the bank. Your money can't do it if it's not in the bank. Man, y'all better listen. You better take that shit as a loss. You better keep you $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, and damn it, you just take that shit as a loss because it don't gain value and it lose value. Well, let the shit lose value then. They cut your shit off. Now you have no value. Think about that right there. If your money is not in the bank, it does not gain value, which you don't make shit from having your money inside the bank. The bank makes money for you having money inside the bank. Huh? You say, I keep 10K on me. I'm trying to tell y'all something now. And shit hit the fan. And this is why I also say, keep y'all a safe. Spend you some money on a nice safe. A nice, decent safe. Keep you some money on something heavy too. Something heavy. Don't tell people your goddamn business. People that you know your damn business because they will set your ass up. Get a nice safe, put inside your house something heavy. Keep you some money in that bitch. I'm trying to tell you something. You never know when these people are going to say, we just put a hold on your bank account so we can check. We can verify where these funds come from. Some shit you bust your ass for. Alright. Y'all give yourself a pat on the back. Y'all done made it to the end of the 99 news around here. Shout out to Fani. That she held it. She held it down, but just one thing that I would love for y'all to do, stop giving up all that damn information. Only answer what people ask you. Stop with that volunteering shit. Stop it. This shit did not have to go down to 3 hours. It could have been really, really fast if, damn it, I asked you this, answer this. I ask you, answer. Answer. Every now and then, if you need to explain something, fine, got it. But not damn near 99% of what she was asked, she had to explain it. And that's what had us here for 3 damn hours. Wasting my goddamn time out here in these doggone street. Players, prostate cancer awareness around here at the Willie Williams Show says just a finger. So your prostate don't work, your meat don't work. You mess around and lose your little la-la, or your life is your choice. You make the call. Your body, your booty. I am here to help. Y'all have a wonderful one. Boy, I see y'all tomorrow, man. I'm out of here.